Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris the Candyman, and you already know what time it is. Tonight, we're drafting best ball teams. We've got none other than Adam here with us tonight, a special guest joining from his channel, Nice and Blunt. Adam, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, bro. Excited for the summer, excited for the season, and excited for this BBM we're about to fucking ship.
Hell yeah. We jumped into a BBM. I think we're actually waiting for 3 more. So if you're one of the early people to join, and there goes it, Phil's. I was going to say, you could jump in with us. Sometimes we try to sneak in, but if you're here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you smash the like button, all those good things. And please make sure you subscribe to Adam's channel as well. Man, you've been killing it with your best ball content. How was your stream earlier tonight? I saw you got a quick stream in. You've been streaming most days. How's it going lately?
Yeah, the team was pretty solid. We got the 101, so always good vibes with Gibbs. And felt like we landed the plane. Decent Caleb and Loveland stack and Purdy and Evans there. But maybe the running back room wasn't like the best I've ever had. But anytime you have Gibbs, you can kind of push it sometimes. It felt decent.
Sure. Okay. But we're
But
at the 4 spot tonight. And I mean, does anyone really argue much about taking Puka there? I mean, I don't know anyone that's out on Puka really, right?
I will say this. The reason I don't love pick 4 isn't because of Puka. It's because of picks 21 and 28.
Yes.
It's not Puka. It's 21 and 28 where running back is a gauntlet of choices that feel terrible.
I couldn't agree more. I hate pick 29. 28 is very similar. So that encapsulates the issue with being on the left side of the draft board perfectly. I was hoping we would speak about that when it came to the 3rd round, but you read my mind. Like, we're on the exact same page. Thanks for being here, guys. Shout out to Nez gifting 5 Membies to the channel. My man,
yeah.
Appreciate it. Always, Nez. Thanks so much, brother. Thanks for supporting the channel. If you guys got a membership, make sure you throw some Lambos in the chat. I'm feeling yellow Lambos tonight. So throw out some yellow Lambos in honor of Puka Nacua and the Los Angeles Rams, who are going to have a crazy good defense. They're going to project for a ton of points every week. It's kind of a team that I want to be overexposed to in general.
I mean, for them to not bring in any receiver and like the history of Matthew Stafford's receiver ones just setting records, it's a pretty safe bet. There's really no issue at all. But you mentioned yellow Lambos. I'm dropping them right now myself.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Been putting in the work. Appreciate it. Real, recognize real. Always love what Nez is putting together with the Badge Bros over on his channel. Of course, everyone knows the Badge Bros. Everyone subscribed. But if you're new here for some reason and you're not checking out the Badge Bros, incredible content, not just NFL, really hitting all the sports. The definition of a multi-sport draft league, I will say. Speaking of multi-sport draft leagues, how are you feeling about the Open this week? Are you going to get any sweats in? Are you going to draft any teams? Or are you just kind of thinking about it, watching it?
Real quick before I forget, one of the 2 finals teams I had last year was in the Badge Bros contest. Sadly, didn't do excellent in it, but did make the final in the Badge Bros contest. And that team was like elite and just let me down. Like, I had Gibbs that week, and it was just like I felt great going in. Man, Gibbs shit the bed against the Vikings. But speaking of golf, I don't really watch that much golf, bro. Like, okay. I love to play.
I know you play a lot of golf.
I play at least once a month. If I can play 3 times a month, I'm loving it. Twice is like maybe the average. But yeah, I don't. Ever since Tiger retired, like, there's just something without Tiger on the field that just kind of loses me. It's not that it's not a fun time. I've gotten to the point where I can't sink as much time with just golf to really lock in. And so if it's on, it's usually the Masters and it's in the background. I'll definitely check it out a few times, but I'm definitely not putting any money down. I don't track the names well enough to bet on it, but
no sweat.
Love to play.
I'm pretty hyped. I'm sweating out a finals team. It ends this week for the Scramble. It also ends for the Albatross. I'm not in the Albatross finals, but I'm in the big Scramble finals. I'm in 10th place out of 25. I'm trying to move. I think best case scenario, I can get in like 5 or 6, and worst case scenario, I would drop back out of top 10. But every spot I move up from 10 is an extra $1,000. I think I'm sitting at like 2,000 right now. So it just like, it can get a lot better quick. I think
Yeah.
4 is, I have to check, but it's nice. So I'm sweating it. I'm excited. I feel like I have a good team. I had Tom Kim on my team, so he won last week, and I'm, but let's talk back about our pick here. We're on the clock. How do you like to play this after going with Puka to start?
I mean,
a lot of receivers on the board.
Let's take Bowers. Let's not
Yeah.
go triple. Let's just take Bowers. I love
Smart.
London. I think he's a great pick, but the double week 11 with the double anchor receiver is, it's not that big of a deal, but it's something. And
Yeah.
I really like the excuse of taking Bowers there so that I'm not locked into triple wide receiver start. Like if I do take a receiver in round 3, then I feel kind of better about it with Bowers there. So this just becomes a Bowers team, and you can accommodate a lot of different maneuvers with a Bowers team. So that I think makes up for some of the lack of excitement with a pick 4.
Yeah. Do you remember last year Bowers was a 1-2 turn pick, and in previous years we go like Puka London was like a 1-2 turn combo. They had the week 17 matchup. It's funny that the choice is then Puka here between Bowers and London, because it's kind of the similar matchups, but it's a different part of the board. You get the injury discounts for London and Bowers missing time last season, but I think they can both smash. With Puka and Bowers, it feels like you're making the bet you have the number 1 and number 2 target earner in the entire NFL next season. Like, just could be, right? Or maybe later in receptions. Back on the clock. Talk me through this pick. Where do we go?
I trust Olave the most. I just pulled up Egbuka, another draft. I didn't hate it, but we don't have to do that. Flowers is fine. I like Higgins a lot. If you want to go Higgins over Olave, I don't mind, but Olave is my preference here.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that. It's a pretty strong, like 0 RB type of start. And if you can get dominant, target earners, I think that's a good justification, the elite tight end. I don't want to be out on the elite tight ends. And I think getting Bowers at 21 is incredible. He's easily a guy that could be a first round pick next year. Like, I don't even have to think twice about it. It's obvious. Maybe the only drawback could be Mendoza, rookie quarterback, some uncertainty. Rookie quarterbacks are generally bad for most passing offenses. Maybe he's an exception. And if we get a little Kirk Cousins mixed in, that could be good, could be bad. We don't really know. So there's just a little uncertainty there. Otherwise, Bowers seems like an obvious smash.
Well, the overall story of Bowers last season was just he couldn't overcome the offense. The offense was just so kneecapped. And I mentioned this a few times. I personally believe Tom Brady set up the tank for the number 1 overall pick with just hiring awful coaches. And Chip Kelly just really wrecked it. Geno Smith was never really equipped to overcome. But Bowers was still going to crush if not for his injury. Bowers dropped 100 yards on the Patriots week 1, which was a great matchup for all tight ends last year. I will say that. But they won the game against the Patriots week 1. The Patriots who made the fucking Super Bowl. The Raiders beat them week 1 on the back of Bowers dropping over 100 yards and getting a knee injury mid-game, then taking longer to recover and come back than expected, and then just never being able to be at full strength. So I think this may be one of the cheapest prices on Bowers for 5-6 years, perhaps. He has that top 10 upside for sure. And, my best friend Angus, who hops on the channel from time to time, he's a huge Bowers fan. He personally believes that Bowers is the next Travis Kelce, and he might be better than that.
He really could be. He's on his way. I guess Kelce was another guy that was just dominant in earning targets, right? And through his peak and very consistently. Bowers seems to be this on a whole nother level. I think of, Kelce definitely rings a bell. Prime Kelce, what Bowers can be, I see it. So I like that comp. We're coming back around. I want to make a few clicks here on our Puka, Olave, Brock Bowers start. Think through this a little bit, and then we'll catch up with the chat and some questions there. We potentially, I don't want to jinx it. There's 2 running backs here. They're both going to go. I think Jaden might take Scatterboo. Would you be in or out on Scatterboo if he's there?
Personally, I don't want to jinx it at all, but I think the delay is long enough. I would love Scatterboo here. I would absolutely love Scatterboo.
Yeah.
I think in a perfect world, if Scatabo plays all 17 games, he is really worth more of a third-round pick. I think he could be more valuable than Breece Hall, straight up. Like, not even close, honestly. Like, if he stays healthy, I would trust more production out of Cam Scatabo than Breece Hall. And that offense is just devoid of talent. Like, he's by far the best athlete other than Neighbors, but Neighbors is a huge question mark. And one receiver is not going to take away from this caliber of running back who can handle 25 touches from week to week. So he's going to stay on the field. I don't want Scatabo in Dynasty. 4 years from now, this could be gross, but this year, hell yeah.
I like Scatabo back in if he's healthy. I liked him a lot last year. The Week 17 matchup's immaculate. It's one of the highest scoring game totals implied by the Vegas odds. You get the Giants going into Jerry World, right? I'm almost certain it's a Cowboys home game, and so that could be a nice, big, fun game to have a piece of. And I don't think he's a bad anchor. He was killing it. He was crushing when he got the opportunities. Great pass catcher. And it's kind of fun. I think he could continue to rise. Him over Breece Hall, I think it's not crazy at all. You're preaching to the choir here. We have one more pick coming up. There's some running backs available. There's some wide receivers. Who would be structurally? We're a 1-2-1. Scatabo, Nacua, Olave, Bowers. Adams is there for a double stack with the Rams. JMO is there to go another strong team.
I think if we want to shoot for first place, then Travion's a pick. But I think if we just want money in the bank, let's go Swift. I think I'd rather have Swift, but if you want Travion, I'm fine. I rank Swift higher.
I like the Bears. I want a piece of the Ben Johnson offense. I think it's structurally good to get a running back here. I'm totally in. Let's go, DeAndre Swift. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Thanks for being here tonight. Make sure you are subscribed to Adam's channel, Nice and Blunt. Make sure you hit the sub here. Thanks for being in the chat. We're going to catch up with everyone's questions. Thanks again for the gifted from Nez. Let's go. We're going to rapid fire through these questions. Shout out to Who. Appreciate you, Who Hames, for being here. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Who Hames' channel as well. Dude's been killing it, as always. Friend of the channel. We love Who Hames. You and Who Hames did a stream last night. I'm just catching up. I saw a little bit of it. Was getting into it, but looked like it was a good time.
Yeah, we're going to do some collabs on a weekly basis every Tuesday, and very excited for that. Next week, it'll be on his channel, but yesterday, if you guys want to catch the replay, we went over our dream and nightmare scenarios. We went through 10 training camp battles to watch, and like headlines that would we would either love to hear or would just be an absolute like gut punch if it went the opposite way than what we were predicting. Yeah. So that was a fun time. Excited for future collabs with Who Hames. Who Hames, awesome.
Of course.
Great friend of the channel, as always. Subscribe over there.
Of course. Guys, I threw Adam's channel link into the chat. Make sure you check it out. Also, I put a YouTube poll up. Or did I? No. I literally I exited the page without starting the poll. I didn't hit start poll, so that's my bad. But I'm going to start a poll, better wide receiver value, and I want to get a few rounds ahead. So don't forget to smash the like button. And Adam, give me 2 wide receivers. I'm going to put you on the hot seat.
Okay.
A couple rounds ahead, 3 or 4 rounds ahead. Better wide receiver value is the question. It's 2 guys who go near each other, maybe, or not.
So you want me to lob to you a vis-a-vis who is a better value, this player versus this player, or
tee 2 of them up for the chat to vote. So if we scroll down, we're gonna make some picks later on in this draft, and I want the chat to give us some input. It could be, over here by Pearsall versus Michael Wilson. It could be anything. You could, whatever range you have 2 in your head where you're like, these 2 guys go near each other, and maybe you have a strong take on one versus the other, and maybe the ADPs are closer than you would think.
I think these 2 guys could be some of the steals of the draft in this round. It's around pick 100, but basically that 8-9 turn. Are you guys taking Ricky Pearsall or Michael Pittman Jr.?
Perfect. Love it. Yeah, perfect. Teed up. Boom. The guy who's looking for a year 3 breakout. We have the guy who's the veteran on a new team with Aaron Rodgers. We're coming back around after we make these picks. Like I said, we're going to catch up with some questions we got from the chat. If you guys have any questions for us, could be anything, let us know. Become a part of the Garage community. Subscribe. Come get in the chat. Say what up. Draft with us. All of that good stuff. Thanks for being here on a Wednesday night. We're feeling good.
Hit that like button. Hit that like button down below.
We're on the clock. Pick 69. Levin's available. Harrison. Marvin Harrison.
Let's take Tony Pollard.
Pull up Tony Pollard?
Yep.
Let's go. Let's go. And then we'll take him. And then you're going to have to tell me more about that one. My only fear is kind of just the Titans offensive line. But I was taking more Pollard. I've slowed. I'm on the fence. Tell me more about Pollard.
No, you bring up the true and only red flag, in my opinion, on Tony Pollard. The offensive line is absolutely suspect, and to project an elite bounce back is possibly, over optimistic. But I believe in the Brian Dable running back. I believe in the system. Pollard has also flashed fantastic production over the course of his career, and I think he's removed from that leg injury to the point where that's really not a concern of mine. Last year, I thought the age. Last year he was 28. This year he'll be 29. That's not great. There's a chance he goes down, and maybe the way to play Tennessee is more through the backups. But I don't fear Nick Singleton's rookie breakout enough. I don't think Tyjae can stay healthy, and Tyjae has a very specific role as more of a pass catcher. But when you look at Pollard's production last year, it was really just the touchdowns that were missing. On a week-to-week basis, he was giving you like 90 yards a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And then once they kind of clicked down the stretch, once the Cam Ward, rookie bumps in the road were kind of like a little bit smoother. And okay, we're on the clock here. Show me ADP.
Yeah. Sorry, ADP. Caleb is still there.
Let's just take Caleb because we have Swift. It's at least something. And Caleb,
I like this.
Could be the MVP possibly. Like maybe this the Madden curse, but like there's also a chance he's just fucking crushing. So rushing.
Burrow goes 75. We got Williams at 76. Both big fallers. QB's falling in this room. I think, at least we had Swift. I can see the vision. I'm in.
Yeah, we got something, but it's just a great offense. So like it if we had Loveland, it's better, but it's really not an issue. And he also has individual rushing upside where you can take him unstacked past ADP. This is where he kind of should go, but I think there versus the other positions, it's definitely quarterback. And
he should go closer to Herbert and Trevor Lawrence. I don't think he should be up there with Daniels and May, Hurts and Burrow, but you got to take what the market gives you. I like what you said about Pollard. Kind of slow to start the last season, finished strong, and was a viable piece down the stretch. So that makes a lot of sense. And also he's just a guy that can handle a workload. So if the Titans surprise, if they're better than we think, if Daboll is a factor that improves the overall offense and the team, Pollard's a guy who can earn touches there and cheaper than a lot of other guys who are going higher that get a similar or even less volume, touches per game kind of thing.
Well, if you look at his game log, especially in the last weeks 14 through 17, so including the fantasy playoffs, but especially the last week of the regular season, week 14, he was carrying 25 carries, 14, 21, 18. I got his game log here on my screen. I'm looking at it. And his minimum points were 10.5, 10.2. He dropped 17.7 in week 15. And then week 14, that was his big blow up. He had 28.1, 25 carries, 161 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Like once he hits the end zone, he can crush. Otherwise, his averages were like 9 points most of the time. And it was just devoid of touchdown production. And that offense just sucked so bad. So the coaching elevates all of Tennessee. The O-line is really the only concern, but I think the way to play Tennessee's backfield is through Tony Pollard, well above the others.
If Dak Prescott, he goes, I was saying, if he's there, I mean, taking him naked, but it's like way past ADP. Maybe it's still not the best pick unstacked. Corum is an interesting running back piece. We do have the whole Rams, and that gives us
I think Alec Pierce, a full round past ADP is a smash.
And we need the wide receiver 3. So let's just take advantage of that.
Yeah. Structurally, I am grateful to have Alec Pierce still on the board at 93. That's a huge value.
It also unlocks a super late stack for us. I think Daniel Jones goes later than he should. Given what we saw from him when he was healthy, I get the injury concerns. But we're still drafting Bo Nix exactly the same place we were drafting him the year before. And he has not the same injury concern, but, some injury concern. So I make a case that Daniel Jones is still too cheap. He was way too cheap last year. He is still too cheap this year. And Pierce can be a part of that, whole package team stack. Pearsall goes 95. So if we're taking ADP into consideration, guys, vote in the YouTube poll. Pearsall goes first. Is he a better value where he goes generally? Or is Pittman the better value? Can Pittman be the true alpha on that offense and kind of supplant DK Metcalf, who kind of not had the most like dominant performances for a few years now? A little bit underwhelming for Metcalf. I remember when Metcalf was the overall wide receiver one in Dynasty. Like, right? He's been there before.
Yeah, I remember that too. Boy, I didn't buy into it then. I'm not buying into it now.
Pick 100.
Can you show me the board real fast? What side is the Adams drafter? Adams
is one after us at 53.
Okay.
So he has 2 shots at Stafford. Do you want to grab Stafford here?
No. If Pittman's still on the board, I'd rather have Pittman.
Yeah, ADP is Pittman. We can do Pittman for sure. Get our wide receiver 4 there.
Yeah, I'm willing to push quarterback one more round. Let's go Pittman.
Because we have Caleb too, and I've seen Stafford go in a lot of these Best Ball Mania drafts anywhere from 117 to like honestly 124. If the Devontae Adams drafter doesn't want him and he takes him here at 101, but like if he doesn't want him for some reason, or if Devontae makes it to the left side of the Puka drafter, then there's some way to play with it. We have Caleb. I don't think we have to have Stafford there, so I'm not going to sweat it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pivot point, but I think we kind of ignored receiver for a while where like locking up volume is legit. And I logged out Pearsall versus Pittman because I think both of them are very good picks here. I think Pittman could be more valuable than DK Metcalf. If you told me he had the same stat line at the end of the year and it was like a Metcalf Tyler Lockett situation, we've seen that in Seattle where we're drafting Metcalf well above the guy behind him and the guy behind him outperforms him, or at least like neck and neck where like you only get half a point less per game. It's pretty negligible. So I like Pittman. We also get the bring back versus Pollard week 17. That could be an interesting little nugget, but I think just because we didn't have our 4th receiver yet, and the next round is not guaranteed in the same way as this round is at the position. I didn't expect Stafford to come back, but I think he really should be going in the next round. And I've gotten him there plenty of times, but we have other options.
Same. Yeah, we've got options. We took an elite QB, technically kind of elite. Round 7 still pretty early, but not not too crazy. Nice little fall on Caleb. Get the elite tight end is kind of the more reason we are so far behind at wide receiver, because we were hammering those early middle running backs. So far, we have a 1-3-4-1 build through 9 rounds. B-Fred wants to know my top 5 running backs in full PPR. I'm going to look at ADP. It's obviously Gibbs, Bijan, McCaffrey. I still throw in JT. And then the question just becomes, who would you take after that? And for me, it's still Genty because of the pass catching upside. Do you think that's pretty straightforward, or any other sub in, sub out?
I think Taylor's pass catching work will go up. So I think he could be more safe and reliable in PPR. Not to the point where like James Cook or Hampton overtake him. I think I would stick with that ranking as well. I don't think it changes very much. They all catch a bunch of passes in the top 5.
Gotcha.
What's your lean here? Is there a direction you want to go?
Casey. Probably continue at wide receiver unless there's a running back you feel like is a break point with like JCM.
I think Chris Rodriguez is more of the break point. So if you want receiver, you put Wan'Dale at the top. I was a bit slow. I kind of didn't have a preference there. It was all kind of
okay.
The same.
I threw in Wan'Dale. I know it's murky. We have this whole Pollard thing going, and it's like a little bit more of a Titans connection. He's a target earner. It's a little murky there. Calvin Ridley was actually not bad when he was healthy, and you bring in Carnell Tate. But Wan'Dale this late, it's for someone, I think the upside would have been KC. Go with Casey Concepcion. We've taken 3 straight wide receivers, but now I feel like we're really safe with those 5. And at 124, what would you think we need? If we have Jordan, we have Caleb Williams, Cam Scatterbu, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard, wide receivers Puka Nacua, Olave, Pierce, Pittman, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Brock Bowers.
I don't think we need tight end. We could get strong at tight end and grab like a Kincaid or Kelsey if you really want, but I don't think that's really the best move. I think I prefer Chris Rodriguez way over JCM. Okay. However, I don't see him. I guess he went off the board. Tyler Shuck was in the back.
I have him queued up. I have him queued up there.
Oh, okay. There he is.
Yeah, I know it's hard to see sometimes.
Your rank on Shuck is pretty low.
This is the leg up rankings from yesterday. I haven't updated them today,
Let's take
but
Shuck.
yeah, go Shuck here.
Yeah.
Get our QB2, pick 124, stacked with Olave. Makes sense to me. Let's do it.
I view him as kind of a last stop. Like, you can kind of talk yourself into Malik Willis, but only because of the rushing upside, not because of the circumstances of the offense. I think you can hope on the breakout for like Cam Ward, and maybe Stroud gets back to, what he was. You mentioned the value on Daniel Jones, but like from what I saw out of Tyler Shuck, without Shaheed on the field at all, bringing in Jordan Tyson, my faith in the Kellen Moore system, Shuck was averaging like 19 fantasy points per game in his last 5-6 starts. Like, Shuck was extremely productive, has some rushing value, and throws like such a catchable ball. Like, it's a pretty safe bet to me. They have a 4th place schedule. I think they're going to win the division, not on the back of their defense. I think the Kellen Moore offense is going to score a lot of points. I heard Huhaim say this earlier today, but I've been in agreement since the beginning with the Tyson drafting as well. It's like, I trust the Saints offense quite a bit. So last stop at quarterback, I think, is Shuck before a lot of variables that you just can't quite determine.
Yeah, it's a bet on the Saints offense. I feel good about that. Like you said, Kellen Moore. Question here. If you could pick one fathead sticker to stick on your garage wall, which NFL player would it be? I think on this one, I'll let you think about that, Adam. Do you have an answer, or you want me to go with mine first?
I mean, the first player that comes to mind is Derwin James.
Derwin James. Nice. I think I would have to go with this guy right here, Justin Jefferson, just swagged out, looking good. He's got some chains on. He's got something on his arm there. Looks pretty nice. And at the UFC fight over the weekend, I just can't get over this. The whole look here. I'm back in on Justin Jefferson. That was all it took there. Hard hitting analysis here in the garage, but that's enough to convince me right there.
Were you out on Jefferson before you saw this picture?
No, I mean, I was during the big board. And then when Kyler went over there, I'm like, I see it. And then I capitulated. Now I'm back in at ADP. Like, I'm not going to worry about it. Justin Jefferson's been downtrending every single year since 2022. Just like the gritty, he has been Google trending down. His fantasy performances have gotten worse. Last year was a career low in everything. Blame it on the quarterback. Sure. Let's just hope Kyler can revive that situation. We're back on the clock, 141. I'm going to go to ADP here.
Our running back room could use some help, but Cam Ward made it back, and we've got that investment in Tennessee. Let's just take Cam Ward. I trust him more than Jones, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a fair pick. If we
also
went somewhere else, we don't have to take a tight end yet. We have Bowers. Running backs, it's not convincing to me. Wide receiver, it's pretty flat, I would say. I think Cam Ward is the pick here. If we're gonna make that Tennessee bet, we've now got 3 Tennessee players. It's a good, the top running back on the team and probably the wide receiver too, assuming Ridley's more of a role player and Tate steps into that top target earner position. That is the assumption, but I think Wan'Dale can still earn his and get his and support a young QB. We saw him playing last season with Jackson Dart, right, in New York, Wan'Dale. So
back-to-back seasons, 140 targets, one with Neighbors, one without. So
right,
they paid him a shit ton of money in free agency. Like, they committed to him fast. And I've mentioned Brian Dable's name a few times on this team so far. So let's stick with the bald-headed revenge tour. Like, we got both former New York coaches in Tennessee, where like the media is one, other than like Green Bay, like the least loud, the easiest media relationship you can have in Tennessee. But looks like you're locked into running back here.
I'm just trying to figure out what we do. We need our RB4. We've got a good amount of receivers.
Either Brenton Strange or Hunter Henry. I'd rather have Hunter Henry.
Let's do it. Let's go Hunter Henry to go with our Brock Bowers. It gives us a piece of the New England Patriots offense. So I like that. And we're done at QB. We need to recover at running back a little bit, but we have a nice base. The wide receivers looking strong. We can go for some upside swings late in the draft. Now we now have 2 tight ends that we like. This is a 3-3-5-2 through our first 13 picks. And I'm interested to see. So the kind of one of the themes of tonight is the wide receiver values. But now we're going to have to play the game of the late running backs that have the most upside. So I'm interested to get some of your favorite picks. I know one of your favorite picks, and he's coming around. Potentially he's there with our next selection or one of the next 2. But can you talk me through some other late picks that maybe you've recently come around on, or you've started to view in a different light? Because within the next 2 weeks, a lot of news is going to come out about these training camp, the preseason, all the things that are going to start in August. We're going to get so much more information. Do you have any sense right now of which running backs are going in the last 3 or 4 rounds that you think are going to be just moving up, that we always see? It's inevitable, but like, do you have any strong feeling on who it could be so far?
He's actually been moving down lately, but I want to be betting on ambiguous backfields. And a name I've been coming around to a lot is Katron Allen, as I fade JCM quite a bit and don't believe that Rachaad White is ultimately good enough to be a true 3-down back. So I could see Katron stealing the Chris Rodriguez role and absolutely pay off from where he's being drafted. Basically, like, that's the price we were taking JCM last year. And the Commanders don't want to spend any money on running back. They're just, I think every year they're going to draft one sooner if the last year their plan didn't work out. And so just like JCM had a chance to explode last year as a rookie, he never really paid off. They're going to give Katron that chance as well. It may not happen week 1, but I don't believe in JCM enough to think that he can keep Katron off the field. But he's a name I've been going back to. Despite his ADP dropping, I think with some camp reports by the end of August, I think he may be moving up the board.
Okay. I like that. I like that shout. I'm also feeling that.
From a talent standpoint, I love Bigsby, but I could see Tyler Algier helping this team a little bit more. I still would rather go Bigsby, though.
Yeah, the Eagles are good. The Cardinals are bad. It's that simple to me. And at this point. So let's just see how that pans out. RB4 there. We got Tank Bigsby. Before we make our next pick, trying to catch up with the chat and say what up to everyone. Jeff T says, I can tell you're not a raver because you didn't know those were festival bands on JJ's wrist. Brother, I was talking about his other wrist. If you knew it was on that, if you could see what I'm talking about, looking pretty good there. What's up? We got Bat Wheat in the chat. How we doing, brother? K-Space. Good to see you, my friend. We are going to do another draft. Yes, sir. Sorry you missed this one. We're going to be doing more drafts, getting into it. Who Hames was saying Ben Sinnott, just trying to, ruffle some feathers there. Joking.
His boy.
We got, Roni Baloney slams Scattaboo.
You know it.
I think we're pretty much caught up. What's up, Air Jeff? How we doing? We got the late Cam stack. We did it. Pearsall will have the better year easily. Wandale, says Thad, Fantasy Monster. Algier's still there. Does that make sense? We don't need Mendoza.
From a talent standpoint, like, I don't think anybody at running back is more talented than Tyler Algier remaining. So I'm fine with it. We probably need 6, but I think if we stop with Algier, it's okay. And I don't believe that Jeremiah Love is going to be a 3-down back. Like, he wasn't in college. I don't see a ton of, touchdown production, but like, we used to draft Tyler Algier at like pick 90 earlier this offseason. Like, they gave him a big contract. Like,
not me, but people. I know people that were.
I had people on my channel that recommended him multiple times.
No.
But I feel like he's just fallen so far. It's like I don't really worry about Connor playing there. I don't think he's gonna stay. If he does, it's gonna be so annoying. But I just don't trust Jeremiah Love enough to where like Algier's not gonna be on the field. And like, I think that the Sean McVay disciple will find a way to use Algier enough to be worth this pick. Like, Bigsby is all or nothing. Until Saquon misses some time, we're not getting maybe more than one usable week out of Bigsby because he offers like a house call out of nowhere. Like until then, we might need a random, like 12 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown. And Algier
Sure.
can do that. It's not going to be on a week to week basis, but compared to the other, like really, Algier versus Jonah Coleman, Algier versus Woody Marks, Algier versus,
It's fair.
12 weeks without Zach Charbonnet. I think we're going to get more points on the season out of Algier in round 15 than most other players this late. So it's Arizona. It's gross, but like if I'm only drafting one Cardinal at cost, I think Algier is a little bit more valuable, perhaps.
The simple argument is just to say Cardinals are bad, man. Draft players on good teams, but I totally get your point. Like, and I think to a question in the chat we had from Alex. What's up, Alex? Would you still get Algier? He's on waivers in my 10-man team. I would say no. He's better in best ball. He's a handcuff or some standalone value, but when do you know how to start? Like, how would you know when to start him? Better in best ball. Leave him on the waivers unless you're really desperate. But we've got another pick here. Do we pivot to wide receiver?
I think we pivot to receiver. I think so.
Ted Hurst, Tank Dell.
No, just isolate receiver and scroll down.
Yeah.
Give me Pat Bryant or Surratt. I one of the two.
I'll try. Oh.
Yeah, we were running low on time.
My bad. It hit on Hurst. I will say the Hurst pick, at least it's
fine.
Upside rookie that we were going for. Maybe Pat Bryant comes back around and we have the whole Rams thing going where it's a week 17 matchup. So there's a little bit going there.
Yeah.
There's obviously there's not like any other Bears we would want, right? And there's not going to be any other Saints we would want at this point. Are there any other Titans we would want? I know Helm went. We don't have to get the third tight end. We don't have to get the sixth running back. We kind of have two luxury picks. Obviously, one should be receiver. Hopefully, Pat Bryant's still there. How do you feel this late in the draft? Like, where do you lean?
Bowers gives us the luxury of stopping at two tight ends, and I think the only question is, do we need the sixth running back? I heard you talking earlier on the tower that you'd rather have four running backs than six. So I think we have enough at running back, especially if Scadabo's healthy, where I don't mind it stopping here. Like it'd be nice to have a Katron, but I don't think it's critical. Whereas our receiver,
if he's there, I'll make the exception for 6 for Katron, given the rest of this team and how he kind of completes the room. Okay. I am not like, I think you hit the nail on the head. He's a player I'm interested in. There's other rookies that are going. There's like Jaden Blue. I think Katron is interesting. I think he could be a nice pick here. Would you want to do it?
Let's do it. I feel like the double anchor Puka Olave, we got a shit ton of targets. We got the dramatic fall on Pierce. And then I think the floor play of Pittman provides some stability. The Ted Hurst pick could be tough, but I think the volume of Wan'Dale, like we have 5 that can keep it moving, and what our bye week distribution isn't too crazy. Only one double up at week 9. Like if we had London instead of Olave or Bauer, like, we'd have that double week 11. It might feel a little bit tougher, but I think with Bowers, it's like, where's the hole on our roster? Maybe like just receiver 6 and 7, but that's not really like a part of your roster you're counting on typically. So I think we're chilling so far.
Keenan Allen to the Bears, rumors going around. I know Emo's pretty in on Keenan Allen. I have not clicked him yet myself. It's interesting to see where he could go.
We could go double K Allen to close it out.
Oh wow! If he's there, we'll maybe. We did. Have you heard any Keenan Allen rumors on likely landing spots, or is there some prediction market that I should be aware of?
Well, the smoke is on the Shane Steichen reunion in Indianapolis, former coach in the Charger system. It'd be an easy fit, especially if Pierce is out for training camp, missing early season. I think that could definitely make sense. I think, though, Keenan's a bit more excited to either get a shit ton of cash or play for a ring in a city he's familiar with. LA, obviously an option, but I really don't think he's returning to the Chargers. I don't think he fits McDaniel's system. He's not fast enough, I think, to work out, and he just kind of puts a stopgap on other people's production. The Rams could be at play, but I haven't heard anything about it. I think he also could fit with the Bears, who he played for a year, who are devoid of depth at the position. I don't know how much you trust Jade Walker or Xavier Thomas, but Keenan would be pretty good, and I think he will play. I think we should take Keenan.
I'm open to it. I'm
If you
open
don't
to
have
it.
any, I think it's worth it. Otherwise, like
This is my first Keenan Allen in Best Ball Mania.
Devon
for sure.
Vele is my only other option. Devon Vele, but I think Keenan's fine.
No,
Keenan's fine.
no, Vele, not a target earner, not a winner.
No,
I
but
get
he
the
did.
stack.
He had a 19-point game last year. He did have a 19-pointer.
Yeah, no, I did see him pop up in the Spike Week stuff that I put together, but I have a personal vendetta against Vele.
Okay.
When he was a rookie on the Broncos, I spot started him in week 14 in my flex of my home league to beat the person who he and I were the only two that could make the 6th seed in our playoffs. I needed, I think it was a Monday night game. It was maybe at least a Sunday night game. I needed Vele to score 3 fantasy points. And guess how many he scored? Less than 3. So Vele screwed me, and I just can't get there. I don't think he's just that good. To me, there's Vele could stack. He's never going to do it for you. He's never going to be the guy you need. Best case scenario, he hits your flex in week 17 and gives you like 11, 12, 14 points. And you're like, that's very replaceable. I don't think it's unique. I don't think he can ever be a guy that we're drafting with any regard. And so I'd rather take a shot on a veteran like Keenan Allen, who's only going to rise when he lands somewhere, can be a chaperone for guys like Ted Hurst, an injured Alec Pierce, getting us further along. And so that's kind of the...
I like Huhaim's take down below. Vele versus Keenan, like asking if you wanted to be kicked in the nuts or hit with a truck.
Yeah. I love Huhaim's late night analogies when he's feeling a little sleepy and he's loose. I love it. Incredible. Yeah, Jordan Humphrey is a good pick. I talked about this on stream with Hartman for about 1 hour. We talked about Jordan Humphrey, if you can believe it or not. But no, it's kind of like a meme. Zero was there. It's just like we did this thought experiment. It was you show up to week 17 in Best Ball Mania. Bo Nix was the best quarterback on the year. He's in 40% of the teams in the final 700 teams in the Best Ball Mania. 40% own Bo Nix. Everyone's got him. How many of those teams are going to have him stacked with Waddle? Let's just say it's 10%. And not exclusive to also other stacks, but like 10% have Waddle. 10% have Sutton. Maybe 8% have Harvey. And these can overlap. They could have both. Maybe another 8% have Bryant or more because he's cheap. Maybe another 6 or whatever percent have Franklin or Evan Ingram. What if you were one of 2 teams that had Marvin Mims? How would you feel having leverage on the 40% of other teams that had Bo Nix, given only you and one other team had Marvin Mims, right? Like you'd be like, okay, I don't have the other higher valued stacks, but if a lot of people have those other stacks. I have leverage on the entire field with Marvin Mims, who's been a guy that's had big spike weeks before. He's in a contract year. He's had a good week 17 before, right? So that was the thought experiment. How cool would it be to have Marvin Mims? And then we took it one step further. We said, what if you were the only team that had little Jordan Humphrey in a Best Ball Mania final? How psyched would you be? And you know that Sean Payton, in week 16 and coming out of a game, a loss, and Sean Payton's pissed off, and he's like, you know what? We just got to change something up in this wide receiver room. We're going to give some guys that we really believe in some opportunities. Now, how do you feel having the only little Jordan Humphrey team? And that's how you talk yourself into drafting little Jordan Humphrey in Best Ball Mania.
Yeah, you'd feel great when you are in that scenario, but the odds that you make it are 0 to none. So, no, that's not true. You can draft as complete 0 in round 18 that does score you a random touchdown in the final week. Like last season, one of my finals teams, I don't think it was the Badger. I think it was the other finals team I had KLS on it. And KLS didn't do anything. He scored a touchdown week 17.
So he must have, I think we looked at this last night. He had, was it like 1 reception for a touchdown?
Yeah, I think it was like maybe 2 for
like two
12 yards and a touchdown. It was like 8 points. Yeah, it didn't matter, but maybe, just maybe. But
late last night we were scrolling week 17 of 2025 and just like the who's who of guys that never get drafted. And there's a lot of names. Kevin Austin Jr. of the Saints was like a top 20 wide receiver. Like there's just some random names that because they get a touchdown and because the top wideout was burdened with 23 and a half points, like there was just so many guys that the fact they hit a touchdown, they're in that 12 to 14 point range. Like they're going to be in the top 20. Like it was wild.
I remember, I think it was the week before, I had one of my teams had Cordero Patterson in round 20 on it, and he scored
No
a
way.
touchdown as well. This might have been 2 years ago.
Okay. I was like, last year, that's wild, but 2 years ago, I could see it.
This was 2 years ago. This was 2 years ago. Always
I remember where I was when Cordero Patterson was being overdrafted for the very last time. Is he a wide receiver? Is he a running back? That whole like his resurgence as a running back was kind of crazy for fantasy for a hot minute.
Well, that's where like scrolling down in round 18 does offer you that little extra edge where like who's to say the names that are going drafted do anything of value at all. So a fancy zero that everyone has or a gross zero that no one has that can maybe give you a random 12 pointer. It could be the piece that you need, at least until Keenan is like going heavily drafted. I think it's fine mixing him in around like 6% of the time.
Sure. I don't mind it. Yeah, Jeff T actually bringing in another element. I blocked out a lot of these memories, and so like my recalling of the story is like probably half wrong and misremembered because it's been a few years. But Jeff remembers the other crucial part is he caught a pass on the very first drive and only needed literally a 0.5 to catch any ball the rest of the game and never did it. And so I'm sitting there watching it, sweating. Can Vele catch a damn ball? And then they kneeled the clock out, and I was like dying on the inside. Didn't make my home league playoffs. And then the guy who I'm texting, one of my best friends, and he's just like, "Oh, that's because he didn't have any players left or like whatever." It was down to that, and he was sweating it out too. And I'm just like, "What are the odds that I flex this idiot in my a guy I picked up that week on waivers? I'm gonna flex him. I'm gonna make a bold call." Ruined me.
It's a cruel game, my friend. The emotion gets the best of us from time to time.
100%.
That's why I barely drafted Jaden Higgins this year for the same reason.
Could burn you. He had a pretty good week 17. He had two catches and a touchdown. Yeah, true. It's true.
No, he had 3 good games with Davis Mills, and then he had week 15. He had good games with Mills. He's
overpriced.
With Stroud.
He's overpriced for sure. What's up, Steve? Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
K Space wants to know, doing a fast puppy? I think we might. I have not hit the fast puppy bonus yet. I've got a few days to do it, but I'd love to draft the fast puppy next. I think we might get right into it. This was a best ball mania. Kind of see how we feel, see what's available in the lobby. Lil Jordan is the biggest dude in that room. He's gonna look great in shorts. That's the narrative I'm leaning into right now. Who looks good in shorts? Of course, it actually matters right now. We have nothing else to go off of. I mean, I remember watching a video last week of Diggs working out at Maryland. I remember watching a video of Xavier Worthy apparently running routes in a field. It looked like very like low tech, like out in the middle of the forest or something. But these are the narratives we buy into at this point in July. It's July 15th. What else is there to do? We're like 2-3 weeks away from good information, but we can't help but draft more teams on the worst information, the most stale information of the entire year to this point.
Yeah, it's definitely a stale part of the season on the calendar.
Savion. That's a fancy zero right there. Savion Williams.
He can give you a few random 8-pointers on the bench.
Can he? Okay, yeah.
Just sticking on the bench with 8 points.
DeMercado could be something. I wouldn't. Yeah, it's not egregious. He's a scroll down.
No way.
Theo Weiss, junior on the Dolphins last season, put up a week 17. Yeah, I remember seeing that name too. Ridley looking like a boss. Yeah.
I forget if this was yesterday or maybe the day before, but I mentioned to you in the chat, I got my persimmon in my bag. And
yes.
Can I show you that thing, man?
Sure. Yeah.
You seemed like that was insane.
Stretching a little bit. I'm also repping a pretty sick dog shirt. Got that dog in me. Shout out to Leia. That was Leia. I heard meow on stream earlier, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
I think so. I heard a little.
wasn't me.
Okay,
This is my four wood. Let's see if I can
that's
get
wild. That's sick. Yeah, let's do this. Do you have any idea of like? So where'd you get it?
At a thrift store, bro.
Nice.
And
Okay.
the grip is still great. It's like the most reliable club in my bag. Honestly, it's like one of my favorite clubs to hit. Not even close. Extremely pure, and like on occasion, if it's on a windy day, it can get just cast to the side. But like this thing can run on like if you just need to hit long from the fairway on a par 5, this thing is perfect. Just so clutch. Love this club.
I love it. If you have a club in your bag that you just, it's the old reliable. It's kind of like it works like that. Yeah, I love it. I have this random putter. It's more of like a gag kind of putter, but it was in my grandfather's garage that I was like cleaning out. And he golfed, and it's from Japan. It's like there's only Japanese writing on it, and it's from I think the early 70s. It's a telescoping putter. It's just a normal blade putter with a normal grip, but the entire shaft is like telescoping, where there's like 6 cylinders that get smaller and smaller. And when you pull it out, you can like putt with it, and it's pretty wobbly because it has a lot of flex. It's kind of funny, but then it can telescope down into like this tall. So you can like carry a putter in your back pocket, like whip it out and like putt around. So what I do is I make it the smallest possible size, and my daughter uses it to like putt around and stuff. But it's just like a fun thing where you can just like pull a putter out of your pocket literally and be like, it's one of those like just a total one of a kind golf club.
It's like pocket flan. You remember that movie Envy with Ben Stiller and Jack Black?
Oh yes!
It's
wow,
the pocket putter. The pocket putter.
I do remember that movie. Wow, I haven't thought about that movie in a long time, and I'm a big Ben Stiller fan. I'm a big Jack Black fan, as it is. Like, I like a lot of their work.
That was a weird one.
That was a weird one. That's where they get rich off the poo spray.
Yeah, vaporize
for the dog poo.
Yeah.
And what was the twist? It like sends it somewhere else or something, or like it like poison?
Basically, it turns it all into like methane gas, and it's like depleting the ozone. Like there was like a environmental issue with it, and they got sued
wacky.
Time. Yeah,
yeah. It's a funny movie. Another movie that's like not like wouldn't pass today, but I really liked for some reason. Maybe I was a weird kid. Was Shallow Hal with Jack Black? You know that movie?
Yeah, that was a weird movie. I mean,
it's a weird one.
The Farrelly brothers, I believe that was like one of their last movies, and it was like really poorly received. And like, but
I loved it.
It had its moments. Jason Alexander, and Jack Black.
He's in there. It's a weird movie, but it's quirky. Yeah. As a kid, I just thought it was like a comedy. It's like, this is what comedy is.
Right.
You know, I was probably 7 when I saw it or something.
I wonder...
half the jokes going over my head because it was a lot of sex jokes. Like,
yeah, I doubt it probably aged well, if I had to guess.
Oh, it ages terribly. Like, it ages terribly. Like, it's, yeah. But then obviously, School of Rock, like, legendary movie.
Classic. Yeah, that's the pinnacle possibly of Jack Black's career, honestly.
When we would drive around in high school, once we got our licenses, my buddy, I think it was like our junior or senior year, all of a sudden he gets like a pretty nice truck, and he uses some of his like waiting money to get a 10-inch or a 12-inch sub under the back seat, which was cool. If you had subwoofers back in the day, that was kind of cool. And then he also got the, let's just call it like a 6-inch monitor, like a screen in the dash, but it wasn't like, it was back before like any cars had those really. And because it was the aftermarket. And what they did was they used to make it illegal to play any videos while the car was in drive. But the place he got the subs with is like a random, car shop, and they overrode it so that you can play videos from a DVD that go into the CD player, and it will play movies like DVDs in his car while you're in drive. The only movie he kept in his console was School of Rock. And what he would do is, like, me and him would ride around a lot. We worked together, and we would just like do things after work, hang out. Like, we'd have someone random in the car, a coworker or like a high school friend or like a girl or whatever, like anyone, a sister, anyone. We'd get them in the car, just don't say a word, just start School of Rock as you're driving and act like it's like not playing. And people are like, what the hell? Is that School of Rock playing? And you're just like, huh? Oh, yeah, like just act like that's like a normal part of driving. Like it was just a little, yeah. So we have, when I think of School of Rock, I think back to that because everyone's just like, what the fuck? Is that School of Rock?
I remember when it was the early days of the screens in the back of this, of like you're sitting in the back seat and like there's a TV screen in front of you. I think I had a friend in like elementary school. Yeah, this checks out for that timeline. But his parents had one of those cars, and we went on this road trip together. I think we went to like Six Flags or something. A decent drive. And on the way there, we watched Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Farley.
Oh, that's a great movie. That's like so slapstick, like hilarious. Like that's a legendary poll right there. Yeah.
And then on the way back, we watched Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It was fucking awesome.
Ah, nice.
Back in like maybe like 2004, if I had to guess.
Oh, yeah, road tripping with a friend who has the TV screen in the car. That age, that was like peak.
Yeah, very an easy memory to access once you mention screens in the car. But you ready to draft another one, bro?
Yeah, I'll do a quick just overview of this team at 3-6-7-2, and we're gonna jump right into another. I think we'll do a fast puppy. I want to hit those promos. I think we'll jump into a fast puppy. Well, also we'll see what's in the lobby. No promises. There's still some pugs in the lobby, and I've only done 1 of 3 pugs. If it's like super close to filling, I might be tempted to jump into a pug so I don't get
I think it'll be open for a few more days, but if you want to, I'm always down. I have no issue with that. I'm going to take a quick rip from the pipe. I'm not going anywhere,
Hell yeah.
But I'll be right back.
Perfect. This is a Caleb Williams, Tyler Shuck, Cam Ward type of QB room. A lot of young quarterbacks. Some year 2 guys. What is Caleb? Year 3. So we have Scattaboo, DeAndre Swift is our connection to the Bears. Pollard, Bigsby, Algier, Katron. I think our QB room's a steady. We got a good value on Caleb. Other picks are right at ADP. A steady B+ for me. Running back, I'm going to say we did push it a little bit. Strong wide receiver and elite tight end start with Bowers. I think we ended it quite well. A little bit of a...
Something has to break right for us, I believe, to have that true elite upside. But I think that's the bet on Scatabo. I think the Scatabo is the key piece here. But like,
it's the key piece. Scatabo.
He misses any time, we're gonna need all of the cogs in the engine to turn the right way and to help him elevate. But if we can make the playoffs, Scatabo is our skeleton key with whatever combo we need. But Scatabo is the real like the nuts of this team.
I don't mind it. Hypercritical. I'd probably give it like a flat B, but I like that we have 2 QBs and 2 running backs on the same team. There's just some continuity that we're making a streamlined bet there. Puka, Olave, Pierce, Pittman, Wandale, Hurst, Keenan Allen. This is like a solid A- wide receiver room. We really got some target earners, some rookie upside. The Puka, you can never go wrong. Bowers, Hunter Henry is like an A+ tight end room. So overall, it's just it's a different team. It's just we're drafting from that side of the board, and we kind of took what came to us. We're gonna jump right into. I think we're gonna do a fast puppy because I think the pug will stick around, and so I'm not feeling pressured. If it was like close to filling, we would definitely try to fill that pug.
Yeah.
The advancement on the pug is pretty good. The advancement on the puppy is a 212, 110, 110, 375. So what I'm gonna do is I'm closing the YouTube poll right now. Make sure you voted if you already did. If you haven't, make sure you hit like on the stream if you already haven't. And then after I close this YouTube poll, I'm entering the draft. So if you're hearing me talking about entering that draft and there's some lag, just go ahead and enter right now. I'm in that fast puppy. I'm hitting enter on my phone and I'm showing it on the screen. We're waiting on 5. You can be one of those last 3 to enter. And here we go. I'm going to put a new YouTube poll in here for us. Where did that puppy go? Sometimes it takes a second. It's starting, so it's filled. There it is. I saw it
briefly. There it is.
I'm just, my scroll wheel is very sensitive, and my mouse speed is like, I can't get it any faster, it seems like. So I end up just torturing people with how fast I'm scrolling through these teams. I don't even have that many slows. It's just like a few little Dalmatians that are wrapping up. Are you doing some slow draft streets, or are you avoiding
I
those?
I drafted my last 3 in the poodle in the slows. Otherwise, no,
I don't like slows. It
no.
keeps me thinking about it. This time of year, I don't mind it. Time boxing things like that, but I don't really like. I don't intend to do many slows.
I might do 2 in the slow puppy just because they offered the promo, but then I have to do a third as well. So I'm kind of like, I'm not dying to do it. But maybe I do like less than 5 the rest of the summer. But it's gonna come down to the wire soon, where like they shorten the clock. I don't want to deal with a 4-hour clock. Fuck that. I
Yeah,
already
no,
sleep for my
I'm
picks.
out on that.
Is there a direction you want to go at pick 6? Do you want to get weird, or are you still Taylor there?
I'm probably Taylor there. It's either Taylor or McCaffrey. I like them both. I can't believe Taylor's fallen in ADP past Monra. I just think JT was so good when healthy.
If you want him, let's take him. That's fine. There's like no way he's terrible.
Yeah. I'd have to look at my exposures to see. I'm not trying to balance out just yet, so I think I'm just cool with going JT there. I can make the case for him. I can make the case for McCaffrey. I like him on Raw just fine. But I at pick 19, you almost certainly can have one of AJ Brown or London, or you still get one of these running backs that fall. And I feel like you can get a really nice RB pairing with JT that can feel pretty powerful. Quick shout out to Barry Picks DFS. If you go on your phone, mobile only, and you go to Underdog, you go to that little prize promo box in the middle of the bottom there. There's 4 challenges right now. There's a slow puppy challenge, fast BBM challenge, and eliminator. Enter them all. Oh, actually, those are closed now, aren't they? Those have closed. They were live until I think midnight last night. You can check. I don't think they're there anymore, but they last for 4 days after if you would have hit enter on them. And it was just a draft 2, get 1 free for the puppies. Draft like 4 or 5, I think, on the BBM and the elims to get 1 free. So I took advantage of that. I don't know if I'll actually do all the elims, but I'm definitely going to try to do the BBMs and these puppies.
Yeah,
Sorry, I think the promo's gone by now.
I believe
Flash
it closed
promo.
last night, but they're always worth checking for and claiming, even if you don't use them.
Guy Fieri's bling. Have you seen this account going around on social media where it's a guy who questions if Guy Fieri's actually swallowing food?
I love that. I love those videos, man. I believe him. I think the theory's legit. That there's no like real. If it does happen, it's like 5% of the time max. It's and I've worked
funny
in media. I can easily see him being like, "Where's my fucking spit bucket?" And every fucking time that shit's immediately out of his mouth. And progressively, you see the people who own these establishments get like more grossed out by him. Let's go, Chase Brown.
Hell yeah, let's do Chase Brown. Easy case for the touchdowns, the good offense. One thing, let me zoom in a little bit. It's gonna be hard to see it here if I'm not zoomed in. This is Vegas implied scores for the teams. So if I focus in on Cincinnati here, they have a bye week 6. They play Carolina, Indy, and Baltimore. Vegas odds right now imply that Cincinnati will score 25 points away against Carolina, 27 points away against Indy, and 26.5 at home against Baltimore for an average of 26.2. That's 99th that's the 99th of the max score, which is 26.3, which is the Bills over that playoff stretch. And it's 94th percentile in terms of if you had to rank all of the teams. You can see the Cleveland is 0th percentile. They're on average, the least scoring team projected right now. The Bengals are one of the top teams. So it's just easy. Pick a good player on a good offense. Don't overthink it, kind of. I mean, now Chase Brown. I don't know why anyone would fade Chase Brown.
Yeah, he used to be going in the top of the 3rd, and like that was such a good value back when it was available. But basically, if you have pick 19, and there's one of any of those running backs still on the board, I kind of feel like you just have to take him half the time. Like from what you're gonna get coming back to you later, there's just nothing that really compares. And if you want to tack on AJ Brown above Derrick Henry or Chase Brown or any of the running backs we saw, I guess you can, but like it's just so much easier to like your team when you have that second round running back. They're all so valuable.
I kind of am tempted to pass on the elite tight end here. How do you feel?
Same. I think for me, it's we could go Olave again, but T Higgins is fine. I kind of want to take Lad though.
Pull that up.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that if you can get it in.
Yeah, I got it in. I don't mind it. Let's get different there. Another good team, high scoring offense. He wouldn't come back to 43, and so we can get a little bit of a unique combo potentially with these two guys. Although sometimes JT falls to like 9 or 10. You can get Brown if you really wanted to pull him up, and then Lad might be there. I didn't really. I'm not trying to get super unique, but I want to draft good players, good teams.
He's on the thumbnail too, so
On the thumbnail, we had to do it. It's a puppy. Get different.
Yeah.
I'm putting a new YouTube poll, wide receiver values. I'm going to jump ahead to guys that are in round 6. I'm going to say Roma Dunze versus Brian Thomas. I think is a pretty. I spelled Brian wrong. I spelled Brain Thomas, but Brian Thomas. I'm going to throw that in the poll. Make sure you vote. Make sure you smash the like. Thanks for being here. Sub to the channel. Sub to Adam's channel. Nice and blunt. I'll paste it again. Bang in the YouTube chat. It'll be in the description after the video. I don't think I have it there already, but it should be there when you look at this later. If you're live and you're in the chat, you're one of the homies, you're here, and you're already subscribed to both channels. Thanks so much for being here on a Wednesday night. I'm going to hyperspeed catch up with the chat before this next pick. We've got Huhames, Pocket Putter. Oh, God. Huhames gets wild at night. You got to watch out. What's up, BBG? Always good to see you, brother. Fun show earlier. Thanks for having me on. And Chris, BCB, New York Jets fan. Always appreciate the kind words. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. I think I've said we got Breaking Best Ball. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, Tease Falls P Dogs in the 6.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to all of the drafters in the room with us. We haven't called them out yet, but we'll get right to that in a second. After this pick, how could we pass on either Jacobs, Scadaboo, Burden, McLaurin, Evans? There's so many good picks here. Colston, Loveland. What do we do?
I really do trust Scadabo here. Like I said, I think he can be
Yeah.
a third rounder. So if you want to go in that direction, I have no issue with it at all. I'm kind of also fine taking Burden now when he's at
Right.
the top of ADP, just because he's never fallen into the 5th like I kind of assumed he would. So I've kind of just accepted my fate where like there's no way I want to be underweight on Luther Burden in the
Yeah.
Bears passing game. It's just like there's too few names to bet on. They all have to hit. It's Ben Johnson. So you have to have him. And at this point, I've just kind of conceded that he will never actually go in the 5th like I always thought he was worth. So now on the right side of the board, I'm not trying to take him, but on the left, I'm fair game taking Burden at this point.
Yeah. I don't want to be underweight on Burden either. I'm happy to go Scadaboo there, and just these running backs are looking studly. We can figure out there's a lot of good wide receiver values in these next couple of rounds, and maybe we'll get lucky at QB2. We'll just see what comes to us. Creoff is here. Good to see you, my friend. The promos are over. What was Breaking Best Ball saying? T Falls P Dogs here at the 6.
That's his username. T-Fall SP Dogs.
But we're in the 6th spot is why I'm confused.
Oh, maybe he's just rooting for us. Maybe he's with us in spirit.
In spirit. We got UCF Jag. We got Bat Wheat, Zero, us, Burgundy Bets. I recognize. Game Tight. How we doing, everyone? Thanks for drafting with us. All right, we're back on the clock. Devontae Adams. Is it that easy?
Let's take him.
It's that easy. Bang. This team is fun. Through 5 rounds, Jonathan Taylor, Chase Brown. When we took Lad, Scadaboo, and Devontae Adams, some solid teams, some really good players, staying balanced. I don't mind being at this spot. You know, we were talking bad about the 4 spot because you get 21 and 28, and it's more the 28 spot we're worried about. I kind of feel like when you get on the 6th spot or later, sometimes you get really good values that fall to you, like especially in the 4th round. You can get some nice pieces.
Typically, the middle of the board is inevitably going to have one pick that's available where you're like, smash. Like, don't even think about it. I'm not letting him get to the end of this round. And that's what makes pick 4 so difficult, is that pick 6 is usually smart enough to see like, oh, yeah, this is obvious. Sorry, but you're not getting him.
We got K Spaces in the 1 is Stubby ATL. Shout out.
Nice.
Now I recognize that name. There we go.
No, I don't think that's K-Space. He's got a different username.
He said he
But
got the one. Well, I didn't think it was WATL, but if he's claiming the one, then
no,
you guys are throwing me off tonight.
he's Space Cowboy. I'm not sure. So he's spammed my chat the other day, so it can
Yes.
get a little overwhelming at times.
You guys are in the wrong room. There's two of you who are not in this draft that are claiming to be in this draft. You guys are confused. I'm
Batweet's in
Candyman.
here.
Yeah, Batweet.
And then Game Tight at the 10. I also
Yeah.
recognize.
67. Jane Daniels is there. We could do Burrow with Chase Brown. We don't have to. P. Wash, Harrison.
This is kind of gross, honestly. If we took Pollard and just stopped at 4, would you be down?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that. Because structurally, we can make anything work with stopping at 4 running backs, and Pollard is really the only one I can justify in this round. Burrow goes too early, and like, yeah, the Chase Brown stack is there, but like, is that really the stack you want the most?
It's
fine, but
it's fine. You're the first person to say Burrow goes too early to me out loud, and at first I was like, I don't know, but then I agree because when Burrow won Best Ball Mania 5 2 years ago, he was going in the 8th round.
He was going like pick 100 half the time. He was falling a lot of the time. Like he was a huge value, and he doesn't offer the rushing value. Like he could be the MVP. He also misses like half the fucking year every fucking time.
Damn. You hate to see it. What's up, Corey? He says, higher on Egbuka or Devonta Smith. Corey, I love how you ask this every single time, but I'll continue to say I'm going with ADP. Give me Devonta Smith for now. They're pretty close in my mind. Let's make this pick, and then we'll see if Adam has any other thoughts.
Herbert.
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't try to push him.
With Lad, that was the whole point. Herbert.
Yeah,
Herbert.
we pulled him up. It's the whole point.
Don't even think about it, man. Don't you dare play with my heart.
No, let's go Herbert. It makes too much sense.
No, that was the whole reason why I'm fine taking Lad now in the 3rd. You can't backstack Herbert anymore. When you can get really QJ automatically after, I didn't see the point in like reaching on Lad. But now to take QJ over Pollard is like not my favorite thing to do. QJ over those quarterbacks isn't like my ideal. And then you can never just pair him with Herbert unless you do that now. So I think the stack, if you want Herbert right now, has to be Lad.
Okay. No, I like this. I want to get more Herbert Lad stacks in my overall draft, my completed drafts. Did you have any opinion on Egbuka or Devonta Smith?
Floor, Devontae, ceiling, Egbuka. Okay.
I like that.
They're both 3rd round picks.
What's up, the Juice League? Killer logo, as always. Appreciate you being here. Bang, Juice, Lightning. Appreciate it, dog. I'm in the Overfill draft. Yeah, you guys are wild in tonight. You guys are just seeing things. You're with Zero? Zero must be in 2 or 3 drafts, brother. And that would not surprise me with the green badge. Space is in the overflow. Yeah, Space is spaced out. Zero's in multiple drafts. I'm in 9 different rooms, though. Hartman's in this draft, but he's also in a bunch of other drafts, but he's also not in this draft. You guys just keep saying that.
Everyone's in this draft.
Everyone's in this draft in spirit. Goombas, 4 spot's really good currently for 0 RB build.
Zero's team?
The 4 spot. Yeah, you can kind of, I could see the 4 spot being a good spot. That's what we kind of did last draft. We didn't go true 0 RB at all, but we did get an elite tight end. We took Caleb. We were drafting out of the 4 spot. The whole Puka start, and then you can get a lot of wide receivers. I think I want to get more Puka and Jamar Chase with Pickens. I think Pickens can just be a guy you have to have. I like Nico as well. I like Rice. I like London. I like all 4 of these receivers. I want to have variations of these 4 receivers that I think could be more expensive next year with as many picks as I can get. Oh, good catch.
Receiver. Let's go Godwin.
Godwin?
If you want Addison, that's fine, but I prefer Godwin.
I'll take Godwin. I don't have a strong preference there. I know it was a quick selection. Addison on the Vikings, kind of disappointing. Godwin, I don't know if he's truly dust. He's always kind of more of a PPR type of guy. but he is good. Evans gone, target vacuum. Tampa Bay could bounce back and be better. Bucky was also injured. Baker was injured most of the season. But when they lost Liam Cohen and he goes to the Jags, all of a sudden Trevor Lawrence goes from average to really good, and Baker goes from really good to average, which is kind of interesting.
There were so many injuries on the Bucks last
Yes.
year where I'm willing to kind of write it off and just kind of look to history and say, have the Bucks been one of like the teams you needed in the wide receiver room? Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone's healthy. The camp reports are that Godwin's been looking pretty good. I mean, they're not wearing pads yet, but so far this year, he looked far better than the year before. And we've seen him put up top 5 numbers. So if Igbuka is not going to hit where he's going, where I think he probably should, it's because Godwin is just that good. But Godwin had some interesting disappointments last year. He was also kind of mid, but the whole team was hurt. Like I said, just a weird season. But Addison wasn't terrible when Wentz was under center. I will say that. Here
On the clock, we could do Dart with Scattaboo. We could do Stafford with our Devontae, or we can push him, knowing that Puka's on the left side of us, right? We could do Fannin. We could do Myers. How are you feeling?
Let's take Dart.
Yeah, I like it. He's my most drafted quarterback, and it's been a recent thing where I was pretty like I was a little bit above the field for like the last 2 weeks. I'm drafting him probably every other draft.
He could average 50 rushing yards a game. He really could. And the neighbor situation is
it's an extra touchdown plus. That's an extra touchdown plus. I love it.
It's crazy what he actually offers from a value standpoint. There aren't that many guys that can drop 30 and like you're not surprised going forward. Like, can you expect Baker to drop 30? Maybe like 3 times. Can you expect Bo Nix to drop 30? Maybe like once or twice. But like any given week, if you wanted to rank Jackson Dart top 5, just cause you're not crazy. Like he has the same ceiling as Jaden Daniels, and like he's basically, other than Scatterbo, the best athlete on the field. Like when their offense is running, he offers a skill set that's just so game breaking that just isn't present the rest of it. Like he's what we always kind of hoped that Kyler Murray could offer, with his rushing upside. And he has the mindset that's not going to be fearful of taking a hit, which is the problem with Kyler. Kyler's afraid of getting trucked by some 320 pounder.
Oh,
Dart don't give a
Stafford
shit.
Goes. Yeah, he doesn't. He does not believe in concussions. We know that much. Neither does Scattaboo. Stafford goes. Would have been nice, but we probably wouldn't have taken him just because we already have Dart and Herbert, honestly, from like a build perspective. But it would have been nice, but not a must-have. Quick thing, Hartman said, and shout out to Hartman. He and I did a big stream last night. Make sure you subscribe to Hartman Fantasy Football. Check his content out. Check out the stream from last night if you haven't seen it already. I also posted a video today, which I don't normally do, but I posted a video that was a 13, 14-minute segment from our stream last night where we talked the best QB values. And we went through tiers 1 through 3, which kind of was Josh Allen through Patrick Mahomes. So check that out. Would appreciate likes, comments, any support of the channel on that video. I don't do a ton of videos, but I'm trying to mix more in, just grow the channel, all that good stuff. We're going to be back on the clock here. We think we're good at running back. We have a 2-4-3-0. Herbert, Dart, JT Chase Brown, Scattaboo, Pollard, McConkey stack, Devontae Adams, Godwin. We could use a wide receiver. Yeah, wide receiver. We could do
give me Golden.
Tight end. Yeah, Golden. I think so too.
The upside of Golden, especially with the reports that he's above Reed in 2 receiver sets, if that's true, then
it is true so far, right?
I want to believe that the Packers scouting department still knows what they're doing.
He'll figure it out. He's super young. Year 2, let's give him a break on year 1. It was a big disappointment. We're getting him cheaper now. It's an upside pick. For pushing wide receiver, I think it's something we need.
Look at Adams' rookie season. Was that emblematic of what his career was after that point? No, not at all. So maybe he just sucks. Maybe he's got Butterfinger. Maybe he's the next QJ, and he's dropping passes left and right. But they made a pretty big bet on him in the offseason. Either that or they trust Savion Williams so much. But
They moved Wicks, they moved Dobbs. It seems like there's more opportunity for Golden. They obviously believe in Christian Watson. Copy paste laid says, rank these if you had one high stakes draft to do. I'm going to throw this one over to Adam. It's Ladd, Egbuka, Tetaroya, McMillan, Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, Waddle. I guess that's a lot to rank, but I guess give us your best shot.
I'll go top of the queue, Ladd McConkey. Next up, Egbuka. Then I'll take Waddle. Then I'll take Garrett Wilson. Then I'll take Tet. Then I'll take Neighbors.
Gotcha. So fading the injury, and then you don't like the Panthers is kind of the takeaway for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Back on the clock. We don't have to take Aaron Jones. He is there a little bit later than he usually go. I don't think Shakir is there.
I'm very much buying into Dalton Kincaid's year 3 breakout this season.
And we need a tight end. We're kind of overdue on so go Kincaid here.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Kincaid fucking smashed. It's just like, can he just stay healthy already? Like, please just stay on the field. Because he's a walking 12.5 points in half PPR without a touchdown. He doesn't need a touchdown to hit double digits at all. He can easily drop 85 yards on 7 catches any given week. Love Kincaid. Just please stay healthy, brother. Please stay healthy.
I am good with a lot of tight ends that go in this late range. There's some of them I'm fading, but guys with a lot of draft capital or on good teams or high expectations, I'm willing to keep trying again, like Kincaid. I like Goddard in this range. I'm not going to give up on Mark Andrews. I like Ferguson. So I do find myself waiting a lot of times to take my first tight end in like the round, 10, 11, or even 12 range. And I usually don't regret it that much. Sometimes I'll splurge up higher, but I think probably more than half of my builds are middle to late tight end builds and typically 3.
I think if you can get Pitts in the 10th, then you kind of have to take it. But the 11th round has, I think, like the 2 elite upside tight ends that if they just stay healthy, will probably put up top 6 production, or like weekly double digits is kind of decent to bet on. And for me, it's Kincaid and Goddard here in this round that I just truly love. Andrews is fine. Kelsey's fine, but they're a bit more floor plays, and then Kittle's just going to miss a little bit. Enough time for me to not need him all the time. He's good, but I just don't need him all the time. Whereas if I start off with a tight end in this round and then still get a second by like 2 rounds from now, at worst, like Juwan Johnson, then you got all you need. If you want to stop there, you can, but ideally you don't. I mean, Shakir falls back, so it's kind of tempting. But do you want Ferguson? I don't mind it. The bring back with Dart is pretty legit.
Kind of nice.
I don't
really
it's kind of
nice
Shakir,
there.
so Ferguson or Shaheed for me. But let's go Ferguson. Let's get a little different. And the bring
we double tap tight end. We get the bring back, and target earner Dallas offense, high scoring week 17 game against our Giants with Scadaboo and Dart. Easy to get there. All of a sudden, we go from not having a tight end to having 2 tight ends on some of the sexiest offenses. The Bills and the Cowboys. Come on, easy.
Getting the value. No need to panic.
Some cheap. We're talking value wide receivers tonight, but honestly, this is a value tight end conversation right now for sure.
This is probably the path to like elevating your team. Maybe you need one of those elite ones, but like you absolutely need to hit this pocket. And Ferguson, I think, is a little less exciting compared to Kincaid and Goddard ceiling, but his floor is way more valuable than anyone remaining. So love the fall. I don't take a ton of Ferguson though. I'll be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I don't overthink it too much. He's earned a lot of targets in the past, and then he's just on the Cowboys, and they're going to pass a ton. I think at one point I think Dak was projected in some ways for like maybe the 3rd highest passing total in the league, and take it or leave it. But that's just directionally. I want pieces of those pass catchers back on the clock. 2-4-4-2.
I don't know how risk averse you are, but if we're gonna draft 8 receivers, which is the plan, give me Travis Hunter at a discount.
Yeah, I'm open to taking him. He fits this team because it gives us a piece of a good offense, the Jags, Liam Cohen offense. And we don't need much from him if we have Ladd, Devontae, and Godwin. If Godwin can continue to, like, Godwin's a kind of a crucial piece here, either him or Golden. And then Travis, I'm thinking we're looking for those spike weeks because I do think he's going to play limited snaps. He's not going to be an all-the-time player. Until he is, I'm happy to be proven wrong. So if we're trying to support a kind of spike week guy, and can we get either Godwin back into form, healthy? Can we get Golden to actually earn targets and receptions at a higher rate? So I think we do attack wide receiver with some volume. Maybe we do get up to 8 if we're just. We'll see. We'll see. I think we'll let the board come to us. Yeah.
I think if you're comfortable stopping at 2 quarterbacks, we could do that and maybe even get 9 because like we're gonna need to hit that position a lot. And as much as Jackson Dart can miss time, we mentioned his like top 5 upside. Herbert's not gonna miss any time. Herbert's never really coming off the field unless it's just a season-ending injury. So I wouldn't mind stopping at 2 quarterbacks. We can tack on a 3rd tight end at a nice value, but with who we have at running back, I think we can very easily stop there. And now it's just like having enough bodies to get it done and just chasing those spike weeks. Because Hunter might not hit our lineup more than 3 or 4 times, but when he does, he can hit it with 20 plus points. And he's 1 injury away from being a much more involved piece of the offense. So I've been taking a lot more of him. I've been less worried about the risk and just, okay, we're counting Hunter as the luxury pick and just trying to grab a bunch of them.
Any interest in Sadiq?
No, personally, no. I'm fine taking Flournoy
Debo?
or Debo. Debo's fine. We could take Trey
or
Harris.
Trey Harris.
For the stack, it'd be Trey Harris, but I've noticed he's fallen. Trey Harris, though, makes a lot of sense.
I'm gonna throw in Debo. I like because you said the last thing there was like I've also noticed Trey Harris falling. He's not a crucial piece. We don't have to get him. It could be some fun upside. As soon as Debo lands somewhere, I don't think he's done playing football. As soon as he lands somewhere, he's gonna shoot up a little bit. He just going back to last season and sorting purely on wide receiver touches per game, so it's combined receptions and rush attempts. Over the course of the whole season, Debo still finished. He was number 12, averaging 5.7 touches per game. So it's not, and he had 6 touchdowns. It's not like he's completely washed. He is kind of a different guy, right? He's like not very typical for a wide receiver. I think he has a different
production. So, sorry to cut you off. His production was tied to Terry missing time, but he was wide receiver 33 on the season in points per game with 9.5. Like it's
not terrible.
Pretty legit. And after this pick, I'll bring up the splits, but we probably just need to stick receiver. Do you still like your boy Branch, or is there another direction you'd like to go in?
I've been actually passing on Branch more lately. We'll get more into that.
Let's take AJ Barner. Let's take Barner.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
A lot of touchdown upside for him.
100%. I like that click. Now, let me get you back on Branch. I was lying. His dad is not a Mr. Universe. I don't know how I got my wires crossed. Like someone told me that. It's not true. I looked more into it last night with Hartman. Zachariah Branch went to USC, played at Georgia. His dad was a personal trainer or like a fitness coach, but was not a Mr. Universe. So the connection to him being a Amon-Ra St. Brown has one less like link in the chain to that. He also played at USC. He led the SEC in receptions last year, I'm pretty sure. And he also did do 20 bench reps of 225 at the combine. So he's jacked. He's like 5'9", 177. He's jacked. He's good in some ways. When it comes down to me for Zachariah Branch, I think he's a dart throw. I don't think he should be getting drafted 100% of the time like he currently is. So that makes me a little bit more weary of him. And then, Dotson could be their wide receiver 2. Zacchaeus could be the wide receiver 2. Even if it is Branch, he's probably still the fourth target on the team after London, Bijan, Pitts. And so it's like, what do you get when you win with Branch? It's like pretty replacement level target earning unless he truly breaks out. And I don't even know if that's plausible.
In the back of my mind, I still consider the Falcons as a veteran free agent landing spot. It's
Could be.
probably less going to happen in free agency, though, and more so maybe via trade. I could see Calvin Ridley or Jerry Jeudy get traded this year, and maybe Jeudy
yeah.
with the Stefanski connection.
Yes, Jeudy.
Like, that's a sneaky option for like the only reason I'm ever inclined to take Ridley or Jeudy is because of the trade possibility. They're in situations
I think
that
Jeudy,
don't need them.
I think Jeudy can get traded. He's a definite trade candidate. What's up, Meg? Always good to see you. We'll come back around to Nino Pina's question.
Nice to see you, Meg. But
great to see Meg. Let's see.
I don't mind just going like Malachi Fields, honestly. But if you want Ridley for the trade upside, that's also fine too.
I'll throw in a Fields there. You threw up that name. Helps with the stack. It's a rookie swing. It gets us different. We now have a 2-4-7-3 build. Are there any QBs remaining that you think are worth taking on this team to bump us up to 3 QB, or do we pass?
I don't think so. I think we trust what we got, and I think I agree with Zero, his comment saying that we need 9 at receiver. I think I would agree. I think there's enough that I don't feel that confident in trusting at receiver where that 9th, I think, will help us out, especially if it's like hitting on the right breakouts. So I think Herbert, his legitimate MVP candidacy, keeps the floor viable, and then Dart offering that 30-point upside any week. I'm willing to trust that he's healthy long enough to stop there. We took the 3rd tight end, so that's done. And then we agreed early on that we were only drafting 4 running backs. So 2 more receivers I think is fine. And at this stage of the game, ADP don't mean shit.
Yeah, let's get guys that we like. I'm not afraid to get different here in a puppy and do some different builds. A 2-4-9-3. Very rare, I would say, that I've drafted this over the years, but I like to get a little bit different when it makes sense. Ridley comes to mind. Hurst, just another rookie swing that I find being at the top, one of the top clicks. One thing also, the Buccaneers, the average NFL team in these best ball drafts and underdog has about 7 players getting drafted. The Buccaneers currently have 10 because there's so much confusion about they have 3 running backs getting drafted. They have 4 wide receivers getting drafted. It's wild.
Let's take Dontavian Wicks over Ted Hurst. If he's still here, I
can do Wicks.
Talented.
Pat Bryant's there. Any interest?
No, let's go Wicks.
Okay.
I trust Howie Roseman quite a bit, and I don't fully trust Mekhi Lemon. I got no concern on Hollywood Brown. Wicks can spike. Wicks has a lot left in the tank. I think he's got something to prove. And is it a contract season for Wicks? If I'm not mistaken,
I don't remember that.
Is this year or next year? I'm going to look it up.
In the meantime, Nino says, is Terry versus Brian Thomas Jr. a conversation, or is Terry the clear better fantasy option? I'd say it's funny because year to year, that answer is going to change a bunch. Terry, the back 9 of his career, missed a lot of last season, and BTJ had a big down year. I think in Dynasty, it's obviously BTJ. I think for this year in redraft and best ball, we're leaning Terry pretty. I think majority of us are, but it's not a crazy question to ask.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I kind of spaced out for a second.
No worries. I'm covering the chat. You keep looking into it. Branch going to play over Dotson and Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus blocked. Burden. Branch's light work.
Gotcha.
Zero does. That's a pretty good poll right there. Bukowski, can he separate? That's funny.
According to Over the Cap, it's weird. It's saying he's a free agent 2032. He's got a contract for only $10 million. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Meanwhile, Zero's comment says 25 years old on a $12.5 million contract. That checks out. That sounds more legit. Anyways, for him to be still here in the 17th, I think is a really good value. I would rather take Wicks at cost than Lemon at the top of the 7th round.
Yeah, interesting.
not that Lemon's like not worth a top 100 pick. I just think Lemon's a little too overpriced for what I think Jalen Hurts can really offer him. I think if not for the stack that you just get right there, that's I feel like Lemon's ADP is just kind of false. You might hate my recommendation on this last one though. Not gonna lie.
Let me hear it.
If we get sniped on this, it'd be crazy. Give me Brennan Thompson.
Ooh, deep. What's the thesis there?
He's a burner. He runs 4.26. McDaniel loves speed, and like Herbert, his biggest highlight of his career is not to Keenan Allen, it's not to Mike Williams, it's not to Ladd, it's not to QJ, it's to Jalen Guyton on across your body, 80-yard kill shot that even the cameraman's like, wait, oh, you're throwing it that fucking deep? Okay, let me zoom out and readjust. There's gonna be like 4 go routes that Brennan Thompson just fucking kills you, and it's wide receiver 9, but if we get Tyquan Thornton production at a Brennan Thompson, it's fine. It stacks up, and let's go for it, man. Let's have some fun. 4.26. Yeah. Can any other fucking player this late offer 4.26? No.
I'm open to it. If you sold me when you said he's the Tyquan Thornton pick, because I'm not drafting a lot of Tyquan Thornton, but he does get overdrafted just because he stacks with Mahomes. And so if you can make the kind of similar analogy, he's just the guy you need. He can spike. He can be that role. You threw in the Guyton reference. I remember starting Guyton in managed leagues when Herbert was really ripping it. I think was it rookie or sophomore year? I think it was sophomore year, Herbert.
With Guyton, it was just a grab. It was just a grab bag of like random, like, oh, did you forget about me, motherfucker? Well, here's a 80-yard house call. But yeah, the KLS bring back. He's this year's KLS, but at least I think there's more like legit excitement on a Brennan Thompson. But because of KLS missing, it's just kind of it feels like stale toast. But like 4.26, like come on.
Yeah, incredible. The speed. Wick's going crazy this year. I'm skeptical of what his real ceiling can be in total for the season. But on a weekly basis, I do agree he can spike. Going crazy, would that be like 50 receptions, 60 receptions, which can pay off and be a good value. But like is going crazy 6-7 touchdowns, which would be like really, really like the top outcome. Like
the argument for me is, you get about 6 touchdowns and like 2 of them happen in like week 15 or something. There's going to be a lot of games where he does nothing, and then just a random moment where like we've shut down Devontae Smith and somebody's got to step up, and Lemon's just not as like hungry for it as Wicks. I think Wicks has like a chip on his shoulder for having to suffer in the Packers depth chart and then just getting traded away, cast off for nothing after Golden shits the bed. Like, I think he's got something to prove.
Interesting. No, I'm first time clicking Brennan Thompson. I am aware of his game. I did see some coach speak on him about the hype and that he can get heavily involved in special teams, and maybe they drafted him for the speed. Yo, what's up? Follow Rob Thomas. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Are y'all in Scott Fishbowl 16? Adam, are you in Scott Fishbowl?
I am not. No,
me either.
Never been in Scott Fishbowl before. I'm interested, but I've never done it before.
Yeah, I'm interested. I've never made the effort to like go to a draft in person, or like lean heavily into getting involved. But like I'm very aware. I'm very aware of Scott Fishbowl. Just haven't crossed paths yet. I think a couple years ago, back in 23 and 24, I was looking to get into it, and I don't know if back then it was still somewhat not exclusive, but just like not completely open. I think now they've kind of opened it up a little bit more. Could be wrong. I haven't looked back into it in a while, but I looked into it a few years ago, and it's just for whatever reason not on my main radar. But people on Twitter like to obviously they like to go to those in-person events, and so it can be pretty cool, like the city meetups.
Okay.
They've been rolling some of those city meetups out.
An in-person draft since like a few years even before COVID. So just to
Mm.
scratch that itch alone, I feel like that would hit pretty hard.
David says Xavier Thomas would like to have a word. That's a deep cut as well. I've got Xavier Thomas in a dynasty league where I picked him up off waivers for $0 in Fab. And so that kind of tells you how draftable he is. But at the same time, scroll down. Big projections for Wicks. You guys love Wicks. You guys are slappies. Wicks has been a name that we've been drafting. We drafted Wicks at pick 125 like 2 years ago, and it was wrong then, but now he's free. So like maybe it's right now.
I think it's worth it. It's the Eagles' offense, man. Like it's a pretty legit offense. And then AJ Brown's gone, so like it's just up for grabs. There's opportunity, but Hurts can crater some upside. Hurts can be an issue for the pass catchers if you don't have like a clear top 2 role. There's a world where I'm underestimating Lemon by a wide margin, possibly, but I don't think Wicks will be irrelevant.
Should we jump back into another fast puppy?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm gonna take a rip, but go for it.
Let's get it rolling. I'm gonna join from my phone. You see it on the screen. It means I'm joining it right now. If you want to get on this fast puppy, hit enter now. I joined from my phone just to, for some reason, it's a little bit smoother transition. And I have my phone up at all times too with the queue. It helps me see if I have the board up that I also can see my queue. The disadvantage for being a guest for Adam is that sometimes he can't see anything. He just sees the board. But this one filled pretty quick. We've got Dr. B. Harrison here. Shout out. Long time no see. Hope you're doing good. Dr. B. Harris got Frog Clone. My man. UCF Jaguar. How we doing, brother? And Zero again, sneaking into the 12. Guys, the draft starts in 33 seconds. But I want y'all, do me a favor. If you're on your browser, click over to my channel. Open up my latest video in the video tab. It's got Lamar Jackson on the thumbnail. Smash the like. Give it a view credit. Let's promote that video a little bit. Let's get it bumped up. I'm hoping it hits the algo tomorrow, picks up some steam over a couple days. Let's just see how it does. Kind of a test. I didn't put a ton of effort into it. I didn't do a ton of editing, but I did snip it out of a stream from last night. I think there's some good content in there, some great conversation. It's only 13 minutes long. Save it for watch later, whatever. But help support the channel. Bump that one up. Let's get it going. Thanks for being here. We're getting back into this draft. Also, look into the chat. Link to Adam's channel. It's also in the description. I've updated it so you can see it here. Make sure you're subbed over there. Support our friend Adam on his channel, Nice and Blunt.
We got 42 likes as well. Appreciate everyone for hitting that like button. And we got a middle of the board pick as well. Pick 7, kind of the same as pick 6, but technically on the left side, which is I don't know, the right side, the right side of the board, typically more valuable. So knowing that we will get one of the running backs guaranteed at 18, there's enough to still be there. I'd rather go Amon-Ra than repeat on Taylor.
Bang. Yeah, I'm not like flag planting any of the first round picks. I might be underexposed to JSN. Other than that, you know, I don't have super strong opinions. I guess I like JT and McCaffrey, and that's the reason I'm going to be a little bit underweight JSN. I want more Amon-Ra. I easily can see the case where he's the guy you have to have. He's so consistent. The offense is so good, right?
Yeah, they also have one of the best possible schedules. Like they lost the division to the Vikings last year. They have the 4th place schedule, and that feels like the most lopsided 4th place matchup of any. You tell any 4th place team from last year, oh, you get the Lions this week. It's such a mismatch, man. They're going to crush this year. I think they can win 14 games, honestly. They won 15 a few years ago, so it's really not an issue. And I love the Drew Petzing signing on at the offensive coordinator position. Like last year, they decided to stay in-house, and say what you will about Arizona. They didn't win any games last year, but their offense was way more productive without a single running back. Like Michael Carter was their leading rusher. You know,
I know that. I know it's crazy. Some people don't know. Me and you know that. Like, witness to what that crazy backfield was without James Conner.
The upgrade to Gibbs like is just going to elevate it, but like we also saw Michael Wilson, your boy, average like 16 targets when Harrison was out.
You know what's funny too is we've been drafting together all summer. We'll make this pick. I'll go through my take. My take on Michael Wilson's changed a little bit. Do you want to go Derrick Henry or Chase Brown? Do you want to get different than our last draft? Or
yeah, let's go Derrick Henry.
Yeah, big dog, bang. Amon-Ra, big dog, easy. So with Michael Wilson, the only reason I'm eased up, I've not eased up on his talent. I think he actually is talented. He did break out. I will capitulate that the environment was rare. The pass attempts, the volume, the playing from behind may not be an environment that gets repeated. There's a lot of differences. Marvin Harrison, in being healthy, should earn more of those targets. I think Michael Wilson is better in best ball. I think he's still draftable, but I'm not going to have like 25% like I thought I might when we were coming into March, So to me, the biggest headwind against them is just the Cardinals and how much are they scoring? How long until Brissett, who's already pissed off the coaches by not signing a contract, gets benched for Minshew or Beck, and then what happens? So there's too much uncertainty for me to have that big of a flag plant on a player that, is not in control of his own fate kind of thing. And best case scenario, he's the third target, most likely. And he's probably the fourth option. And now they have Jeremiah Love. So once they drafted Jeremiah Love, I was like, that's kind of not what I was expecting.
Yeah, the offense shifted heavily where last year all they had was James Conner for 2 weeks and then Michael Carter and Emari DeMercado fumbling at the end zone. But once they paid Algier, it was like, okay, well, they want to shift the mindset. Now they got Love, and it's like, well, if he had a quarterback, I think he would be an excellent pick. I think he's a great dynasty play, but this year the Cardinals are just a sinking ship. So you kind of just have to hope that Harrison goes down again and the new regime is just like not testing out the fourth overall pick and seeing what he can do. But they're set up for next year. They're going to tank. They're going to get hopefully a top 3 pick, if not the number 1 overall pick. Maybe we get Arch Manning throwing to Marvin Harrison Jr. next year. And maybe Michael Wilson is one of the highest paid free agents and plays somewhere else and fucking crushes.
Shit, like on the clock.
I
was listening to you and multitasking. We're on the clock. Derrick Henry, Amon-Ra,
the Alec Pierce treatment, but we're on the clock.
Kyren or Higgins or Etienne Jr.
Let's take Igbokwe.
Igbokwe.
Yeah, let's take Igbokwe.
Throw him in there. Bang.
I did it earlier today. I wanted to break down some of Igbokwe's splits because when you told me we were going to talk about values at receiver, I started to do a little deeper.
Oh, yes, please do. Yeah, please do.
And the Bucs offense is just so interesting, man. If you look at the first 5 weeks of Igbokwe healthy, how can you not tell yourself that he has like next year he could be drafted in the first round? Like legitimately, his first 5 weeks, he averaged 17.6 half PPR points. He dropped 5 touchdowns and 445 yards in his first 5 games on only 25 catches. That's kind of the only issue. It's not the most volume, but almost 18 points in his first 5 weeks. It's a touchdown game. So
yeah, he's with a touchdown Evans guy. Leaving, we saw it.
They just like showed you what they were going to do in the drafts. Like, did they really need to draft Igbokwe last year? Probably not. And maybe it's the year 3 breakout that like really pays off on this. I don't know how much I trust their new offensive coordinator, but he feels like a very legitimate 3rd round pick for upside purposes. And as much as I like Travis, damn, if he falls back here, I think we have to take him.
He's not. This guy's going to take him. Oh, whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Pick 42 is rare. That's just a rare combo. He usually goes in the 3rd round. You don't see that every day.
Well, this is basically as if we flipped it about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Igbokwe obviously been rising and possible that you might be able to get him at 42. I think you might remember better than I do on that specific to like, because I do think of him in the tier there's so many good receivers that are going on this turn. Waddle gets pulled up, Burton gets pulled up a little bit, but even like just McConkey, Wilson, T-Mac, I think of it as a similar tier. But I know what you're saying. I remember feeling very good about Egbuka for the start of the season. It was just his splits the second half of the season were so much worse. Sorry, I was multitasking there. Did you make a case yet for the second half of his season? And like, what did you find anything of why it was such a drop off?
Well, it starts in week 6. If you look at his player profiler page, he suffered the hamstring injury in week 6. And it's a much bigger sample size, so I get the reason to lean on it more. But in 12 games after the hamstring injury, he only averaged 6.2 points per game. Like, it got bad. Insane.
No touchdowns. Or was it one touchdown?
He had 1 touchdown in 12 games.
Yeah.
He had 490.
Baker was hurt too.
493 on the yards in these 12 games, whereas it was 445 in the first 5 games. So
it's like the opposite of Isaac Tesla luck right there.
His touchdown production just didn't really materialize, but I think it's because he couldn't separate because he never had a chance to recover. He had 1 game off the bye where he dropped 20 points. So you gave him 1 week of rest, and he did get back to that. The week after the bye is really the only glimmer of hope where you're like, it's probably just the injury. And let me try to.
Wow. Carnell Tate gets pulled up. So does Brian Thomas. We're going to get Colston Loveland in the 5th round, right?
Instant click.
We get 2 insane values. This team, we need to just let it not auto draft, but like let it draft itself. Let the picks come to us, not try to force it, because we already have such insane value with Travis here and Colston here that this is already going to be an extremely rare start. And we might just access a lot of value by playing it through these picks. Like, how can we leverage the Loveland, the fall we got on Etchen Jr., and kind of just a general good start that's balanced? How can we continue to build out this plane? As we also, we're digging into Egbuka and what was different there. I was making the comment that Baker had that injury that just lingered. He plays through it, but that's not going to help Egbuka shine either when your QB's banged up.
Well, he's really the only guy they had. Like, it was him and Cade Otton for in week 4. That's basically what happened. Like, week 6 is the first time Godwin came back was week 4. He played 2 games and then left the field for week 6. He did not start week 6. And that's the week where Egbuka suffered the hammy. Jalen McMillan had the neck injury. Let's go Tyson. Unless you really want Drake May, but let's go Tyson.
Let's go Tyson. It's a team stack. It's a decent price. Let's continue to build out this wide receiver room. Also, shout out to Dr. B. Harris. Thanks for being here, man. Long time subscriber to the channel. Good to see you in these drafts. Egbuka 9th in league in targets last year. Yeah, underrated. ETN probably going to be dropping the next week now that Kamara restructured, people panicking. Oh, I would love to scoop. I think he's expensive, but I like the playoff schedule. And if we're making these big, arguments that the Saints are going to be good in general, then it's just another good offense. So it's not too hard to see. And he's definitely the workhorse running back. Kamara does not scare me at all. He was dust last season. I think the only reason he's still draftable is because his pass catching upside, and he has some longevity because he takes care of his body. But other than that, like, Alvin Kamara is probably not drafted next year in fantasy, almost certainly. It's like the Eckler, it's like the Elliott's. They just fade, and you just forget they ever existed.
I'm looking at his contract right now. 4 years, $48 million. 2 of that is guaranteed. So $12 million annually. Travis Etienne.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Kamara. I was like, what the fuck?
No, sorry about that. Travis Etienne, age 27, 4-year deal. 2 of it is guaranteed, but $12 million per year. Where would you say that, if you had to guess, at running back, what do you think that ranks in terms of contracts?
Let me think through it. I'll think heavy. I'll think through it. But let's make this pick first. I want to get snuck up on with this clock, but I mean, think through that one a little bit. That's interesting. I have to rethink about it, or the exact numbers. I have to re-ask you. Any interest in Chuba to get another running back, or we just push running back and we go with?
I think we push and go QJ, unless you just want Herbert. But let's take QJ.
No, we can take QJ there. I don't see why not. Herbert and Mahomes might come back around.
There's no receiver that's like that much better.
Next pick is 90.
The thing about QJ, I'm fine taking him here. I don't want to do it in BBM though, because in BBM he went 30 picks later. That I think is not the move. We're in a time box contest that started at the beginning of the week, basically.
Yeah, probably. Was it Monday? It's only Wednesday.
Yeah, it's not like people got him at pick 100 that we have to go up against. So
sure,
I'm fine with it. The Chargers offense is pretty consolidated. As long as Keenan doesn't go there, then QJ just keeps winning free agency, keeps winning the draft. He keeps surviving all of the landmines that can crater the off season. And
I didn't expect Herbert to come back around, but like, what if he did it pick 90? Would have been an auto like smash, like one more player passed. I'm just kind of looking for who's the next guy we're going to get to fall. What were the contract terms for Travis Etienne Jr. that you were mentioning? I want to think this one through and see if I can give you a solid answer.
Annually, APY $12 million.
That's low. It's running backs. That's decent. That's decent. Yeah. APY. So where does APY 12 million a year rank?
Yeah. If you had,
it's a new contract, so it's going to be top 12. So I would say maybe top 10. Let me say it's number 8.
Number 11.
Okay, I was close. I mean, I was trying to quickly think through it. Not too far off. It's lower than you would expect because Marvin Mims is going to generate like 10 million a year next year when he's a free agent, and it's like, Marvin Mims Jr. Like, and he's like, who's Marvin Mims? But he's a contract year. Wide receivers are way more expensive. Any interest in these running backs?
I'd like to go Rico. But we could take Harvey if you preferred. If you really prefer Harvey, that's fine. But I prefer Rico.
I'm cool with it. Quorum is interesting because they're the Rams, but this to me is you're getting guys who split work on good teams. Question mark if the Steelers are. I think they can. I think Rodgers is functional. The defense is really good. They can still run the ball out and be good. So yeah, they're going to lean on the run game. Dowdle's a better. I honestly think I'd have to see some advanced stats, but my gut tells me Dowdle's just been better than Jaylen Warren over the last 2 seasons. He just has been for fantasy, bigger spike weeks, probably more inconsistent, less pass catching upside, but Warren's just a letdown. I've owned Warren in managed leagues, and you're always just like, fuck, dude, this guy's not really exciting. It's not really getting me there. He's not. I have the same problem with Breece Hall. Breece Hall is great, except he didn't score touchdowns. And it's just like, And then even with Warren, we had the career year in touchdowns last year. We had like 8. Before that, I think he had like 7 or 5 in his career, whatever it was. So it's kind of lukewarm for me. Dowdle at least can spike, and you're like, oh, hell yes.
Well, the upside for Rico is that, I guess it's kind of a downside. This is kind of a lukewarm aspect of him. He's maxed out at 7 touchdowns. Last 2 seasons, 7 touchdowns is good. It's not great. If you double it, we have a league winner. But what is the floor with Rico is back-to-back seasons with like almost exactly 1,050 yards. It's like 1,047 or something on the rushing stats, 2 straight years. And if you're telling me it's 3 in a row, and Jaylen Warren still has like 850 rushing yards and like tack on another 300 passing, receiving, wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah,
Purdy's still here.
Purdy's still there. We don't have any stacks, but like I don't really care at this rate. I think it's a decent value. Or do we want to go Brooks?
I'll take Purdy.
Okay. I'm trying to think it through. Like, Goff later, Baker later, Shuck later.
Take Pitts. No, it's too late. The value on Purdy is pretty legit. Purdy versus Mahomes is
Kyle Pitts. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking last second because we have Loveland, so I wasn't so worried about it.
I totally forgot about Loveland. So
okay. I waited
too long. It's all
no.
The value on Purdy is pretty legit. Him versus
it's
Mahomes,
totally good.
Great discussion, but just getting different price.
1-3-4-1 build. We now have Purdy, Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne Jr., Rico Dowdle, I would like to get a fourth running back at some point, kind of soon, unless we just don't have an obvious good choice at our picks. But then Amon-Ra, Emeka Egbuka, Jordan Tyson, Quentin Johnson feels pretty nice, the wide receiver. And then Colston Loveland. This is a rare elite tight end where I doesn't even feel like we have the elite tight end because everything else is so solid.
Yeah, I legitimately forgot about it. Maybe I smoked too much weed, but it's hard to.
No, I was
remember
hiding
that
it. I
you
was
got
hiding it. Yeah.
Loveland at 53. That's pretty crazy.
Sladen with a great stat. 2019, Ryan Fitzpatrick led Miami Dolphins with 243 rushing yards. Football is crazy, man. It's hard to predict.
Where do you view Kittle on your like target list? Because I don't see him on the ranks.
And again, it's like up ranks, so like I just uploaded these. I'm not like married to them. I would lean
I'm
either
fine with
Goff or Aaron
Baker.
Jones.
Goff is probably the right pick. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind Baker, but if Goff is still available, legit.
Let's just go Goff.
Yeah.
We have Amon-Ra. This is the Amon-Ra team. Baker might come back around. Aaron Jones, old. Let's see if we can get lucky somewhere else at RB4, or we can just take some volume at RBs later, because at least we've got the value on Etienne Jr. and we anchor to Derrick Henry. Yeah, double tapping quarterbacks here. We're safe for a bit. We don't have to. I mean, so you're saying Kittle. I am not out on Kittle. I know he's injured. He's just different. If he can come back and be healthy in the playoff weeks, if I can get him there, round 10 is not too expensive. And especially if I can get him in round 11, like I'm smashing, clicking, because I want to have, you get a traditional Kittle week in a playoff, like a week 15 or 16, and he can put you over the edge.
Him paired with someone like Loveland, I think is more interesting to me in terms of how to play George Kittle, as opposed to taking him as your first option and grabbing other players behind him. So that would have further justified the Brock Purdy selection, but didn't really expect Goff to still be there. And I think they're both good clicks, but the safer money in the bank pick is definitely Goff.
It's interesting. We got Ball Knower Steve in the chat. I love this. Dowdle has just a few fewer targets over the last 2 seasons combined as the pass catching back Warren. Yeah. It was Gainwell last season who was absorbing those receptions, and Warren is just kind of, I don't know, he's middling to me. I'll say less.
Warren has never been that exciting. He has like a couple highlight plays and maybe like a few random 20 pointers, but there was the year, I believe it was 2 seasons ago, he only had 1 touchdown.
Baker is still there, but is there any reason we'd want anyone else?
Is Chris Rodriguez available?
I didn't see his name.
No.
He got drafted.
Let's just take Baker and have a really strong quarterback room. The Purdy selection now feels kind of out of place.
Let's see what we could have gotten. And I don't think we're cursed because of it, but it would have been wide receiver 5 with Golden. Maybe RB4 with Brooks is kind of a higher upside shot. But other than that, it was all like other quarterbacks that went, and maybe Mason, right, as the RB4. So Mason or Brooks or Golden as our wide receiver 5 would have been our difference. We just have like great quarterbacks now, but we're a little bit behind at RB4, I would say. Yeah, maybe we could have gotten Pitts. Maybe we could have just,
it's a good problem to have. I'll say that. There's nothing upsetting about it. It's kind of just mostly price enforcing on Purdy. And that's where, in hindsight, maybe when we finish this draft, we look at it and say, perhaps Jonathan Brooks really did help this roster. But I think we can get away with it. I don't think we needed receiver there. And other than Kyle Pitts, it was still a position that we already had with Colston Loveland. So similar to the George Kittle pick, neither of them were fully necessary. The Kittle pick only would have made the Purdy selection look better.
Maybe we could have done something other than Purdy, but I don't really regret it. We got a fall on Baker too. Like, not a huge fall, but enough to feel decent. Do we keep pushing running back? Do you want to grab Goddard here, or
I'm
a wide receiver?
That. Goddard with the bring back versus Purdy. Receiver's not that compelling. And unless you really want Keaton Mitchell, then I think Goddard is the best value on the board.
Yeah, the bye week 10 overlap is not perfect. It's whatever. I feel like we're not going to need the 8th receiver or the 6th running back. So we probably just end up going like a 3-5-7-3 in my mind right now. I think we're still safe for that kind of build. So maybe we
That's
can tack
fine.
on, a non-week 10 by tight end. And worst case scenario, people say it can be done. It gives me a little bit of indigestion to go just stop with 2 and then the same bye week, because it feels like you're giving yourself a lower floor in a certain week. But at the same time, 2 out of 12 advance. And if that 6 points or 8 points from a Goddard or another, or the third tight end we take later, maybe it's only 4 points. Maybe it didn't matter so much. You get unlucky with sometimes how the weeks work out.
Well, if it's true that the league is going to go further into 13 personnel, then
Yeah.
at least just trusting tight ends, especially given the fall we had on Loveland. It's not like we took Loveland in the third. Grabbing 3 is not a bad play. I think there's still, I don't want Otten just generally, but we can't take him with another week 10 bye. That's definitely
No, yeah, that's
play.
right.
But we could just take Tonjes. I don't mind that at all.
It's a deep cut.
If it's
a
the
deep
last
cut right there.
round, why not?
Does Christian Kirk do anything for you?
I wouldn't hate it.
It's. I saw Sam Sherman draft him one time on stream, so there's at least somebody who knows ball who could back it. Stribling could be there. We never know who the backup running back's going to be. There's kind of dart throws on James or Black, right?
Yeah, it's worth.
Okay, we
mixing them in
probably need
at
running
times.
back here. Any interest in Pacheco to go with our whole Detroit thing going on, or no?
Not really. I think I'd rather look at receiver.
Boston?
I'm fine with Boston or Juwan, but Boston has some more interesting talent, and like, especially if that Judy trade works out, then he's the most interesting player. In terms of prospect profile, we're not usually drafting a top 40 pick this late, so
Yeah.
why not?
I heard, I think it was Matt Harmon earlier this week. He was kind of out on Jawan Jennings, and I think of him as being a good source for keep steering you in the right direction for wide receivers, with perception. Jennings was a guy that last year we were drafting in the 70s on the 49ers, but now that he's on the Vikings and he's kind of we assume he's obviously not the top target, but probably also behind Addison and maybe even behind Hawkinson. How much is there left?
It's not an appealing selection. It's just kind of a position where I think the value's more intriguing here in
Yeah.
terms of upside. But Boston versus Juwan Jennings, I have no issue with that selection. If Bigsby's still available, that's my preference.
Oh, yeah, he is. That's a good shout. Also, we're probably overdraft. Don Jennings. I was drafting a decent amount of Jennings and doing Kyler stacks earlier in the draft
Snipes.
season. So like I've kind of gone through that phase. Oh, snipe on Bigsby. Damn.
In that case, I think I'd rather have Brian Robinson among these running backs.
Okay. Push dribbling.
Yeah, I think he goes too early.
Top 40 pick, right?
In a Shanahan system, that's not how Shanahan kind of
Okay.
operates. Like Shanahan drafts for the future. He drafts for when he's going to cut the player that he's going to over target and push to get hurt. Like nothing that Shanahan does in the draft is like emblematic of how this year is going to operate in the target share. So dynasty play on Stribling. I think him and Antonio Williams moved up too far.
Got it. Yeah, like does he slate right into that Juwan Jennings role? Stribling, I think one of the pros I hear about him is being like a blocker. I don't know enough about Stribling. I just know that he's drafted. He was there. He stacks. But I didn't do additional research after the NFL draft to become a Stribling expert. I just hear his name, and I don't know. No strong take from me.
It's possible that he actually pays off this price. I think it's more so like a bet against Mike Evans staying healthy. But I think for the value, I don't know how you feel about Brian Robinson, but it's an offense We're drafting the 4th Falcon off the board in round 14. There isn't a receiver that's going to be more used than him. I don't think he's going to be insane, but I think he actually has some standalone, like week to week value. And then he has the same contingent upside as Tank Bigsby.
I like it. No, I made a case about 2 months ago that I think Brian Robinson has standalone value. I think you and I talked about it because when we talked about Bigsby, I was starting to get into that take. Stribling's still there. So, I mean, we pushed him. Do you think now is an appropriate spot? It's just a little past ADP. Like,
no,
otherwise, let me just show you the board. Trey Harris, Tesla.
I do like Tesla. Let's take Tesla.
I know.
Let's take Tesla.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Double stack. We'll have 2 Detroit pieces. We don't like Tribling won't come back around, so we're not going to have any stacked with Purdy, but we don't have to have Purdy stacked.
No, and like I said, Jake Tonjes, I think final round is totally legitimate.
So deep. I mean, I'm open to it. It's such a deep one, and like I do remember though during the daily drafts, like the single week drafts, Tonjes was draftable once Kittle went down.
No, yeah, there's no way that Kittle plays all 17 games, and like. There were even some weeks where they still threw the touchdown to Jake Tonjes while Kittle was on the field. It's more so just like directly correlated against it, but like I don't think it's wild to take Jake Tonjes. But Christian Kirk, I think, is probably the better stack. If Stribling goes where he should, he would be available here. But because he is technically an ADP value, that's where people say, like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. I'll just take him a full round past. But I still think he's more so like pick 200 than 180s. Him and Kirk, I think, can go back to back, but they'll both get on the field. I think Kirk will absolutely be relevant.
Is Sean Tucker draftable?
I think he is. I have a lot of Sean Tucker.
We've got Baker.
Shares.
We've got Egbuka.
I don't think it stacks though.
Right. Is obviously Otton's there. We don't want to. Is it
take
Ferguson?
Let's take Sean Tucker. Let's take Sean Tucker.
We just need a running back 5, and it's getting ugly. I don't think a lot of Sean Tucker, but you know
he will contribute. He's gonna have at least one big blow up game. He always has that. Like he's gonna be used on the goal line way more than Bucky Irving. I think that's a legitimate take. Where Bucky Irving didn't see a single touch inside the 5-yard line last season.
Ooh,
Bucky Irving is not
spicy.
A player that has held up well to a lot of touches, and he's had some difficulty staying healthy, whereas Sean Tucker is just meat and potatoes, basically. Like he reminds me of like this version of Lorenzo Neal. Like not quite, but if they used the fullback, I feel like Sean Tucker would actually complement this backfield pretty well. He wears number 44. It's just kind of a throwback pick, but it's an offense bet, and the Bucs have one of the best offensive lines in the league. If you tell me their left tackle doesn't miss a day in training camp, I feel much better.
Tristan Wirfs?
Yeah. Their offense should provide 20 plus rushing touchdowns. Like collectively.
I like it. You're bringing me back in when you said that.
Rushing touchdown, maybe running back total touchdowns, I think could be 20.
Sure. It's not far-fetched. It's not crazy. When you said that Bucky hasn't had any touches within the 5, that to me was eyebrow raising, because I have not been afraid of drafting Bucky in the 5th round. That's a little bit of pause for concern there. All right, we're back on the clock soon. 3, 5, 6, 2. Do you want to finish up our tight end now before it gets even worse? We have Gesicki, Darnell, Mayer. We talked about Tonjes. Do you want to wait? Let's go.
Njoku randomly, but if you want to go,
is Ted Hurst guy?
Ted Hurst this time makes some sense.
Finally, it makes sense. I think we do it right.
Yeah. Have you looked at Tez Johnson's fucking game log, man?
Yeah. The backflip last year.
Tez Johnson's freaking crazy, man. The wide receiver 4 in Tampa actually means something. Tez Johnson last year had an 11-point game a 13.8 point game, an 18.2 point game. He had
Good.
5 total touchdowns on 44 targets last year. Tez Johnson, and they drafted Ted Hurst in the third. A team that like fucking never misses in the draft. Like year over year, the Bucks know what they're doing at that position. But
We
what's
did
your
an
take on Ted
experiment.
Hurst?
Ted Hurst, just rookie upside. It's interesting. He had more top 30 visits than like all but 4 wide receivers in that draft class. So like the coaches were really interested in him. That was one thing I saw that popped out. Look, the Buccaneers, we did this experiment last night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and sometimes 10 Buccaneers get drafted. There's no other team that gets above 8. And I know you have to stretch to get Tez, but I've seen Tez drafted. Like, so Buccaneers have the most drafted players. They spread the ball around. Different guys can spike. When Baker's healthy, he can be a competent quarterback that can be good for fantasy. The offensive line you mentioned. What do we do here? Is it really Tonjes, or is there any other reason to go a different path?
I'm fine going Christian Kirk, honestly, but we don't need receiver. I think it's Tonjes, man. If you want Gesicki, go for it. But I think Tonjes is legit.
I mean, he's playing week 10. Maybe there's some more 2 tight end sets that they're rolling with. I see people draft Tonjes. Sometimes I snicker, but on this team, I can be convinced. We don't need much from him.
I think
touchdown spikes.
When you take him off the waiver wire, he's an instant start. And like to get 3 touchdowns from any tight end this deep is really the only argument I think you can hope for. Like Gesicki might have like a random 85-yard game, but like Tonjes has proven something, and all their receivers get hurt. All their receivers are very likely to go down. So I think just having depth in the Niners system, we didn't get dribbling. We don't have a single Niner other than Purdy. Why not?
Why not? I looked at the stat line again. I started to remember drafting Tonjes in those weeklies when Kittle was out. The viability of 2 tight ends on a lot of teams, one of the best offenses. Yeah, it makes sense to me. I'll be honest. 2 players I rarely draft. It's going to be Sean Tucker and Jake Tonges, but taking you on the same team, it all makes sense. I'm not opposed to it. I like scrolling down. Tonjes is not always drafted. There's some leverage there. Sean Tucker, I think, is a little overdrafted.
I never take Tonjes. I will acknowledge I never.
You're a big Tonjes guy. You know, you're the biggest Tonjes guy I know now. I'm gonna remember that.
It's why not, man? It's round 18. We're having some fun.
I love it.
We took Brendan Thompson in the last one, bro.
I know. We're mega mining. I like to scroll down though. I do like to scroll down. Why are we drafting Jalen Naylor in 100% of our drafts in a round where you could also take, I don't know, a upside shot on a rookie like Denzel Boston goes later than him, or Omar Cooper, or Travis Hunter, number 2 overall pick. I don't care if he is a corner, whatever. There's viable tight ends that are starters. There's viable starting QBs. Why the hell are we drafting so much Jalen Naylor? He's never been a guy. He's never been the guy. He's not going to ever be the guy. This is the highest he's ever going to be drafted in best ball. In the rest, and not to harp on Dr. B, everyone's drafting him. I've even drafted him a few times, but he's never going to be this expensive again. He's never going to live up to it. It's not the thing where it's like, well, who else are they going to throw to in Las Vegas? That never works out. It's talent wins out, and he's not a target earner. He's not that good. He's had a career year in touchdowns already. He had 7 touchdowns in a season, if I remember correctly. Am I now just mixing him with no, it's 6. He had 6 2 years ago. He's not even coming off a career year. He gives you a 1 spike week. If you're looking for 1 spike week, you could take any name off of this list. You could take Kevin Austin last year, spiked in week 17, was a top 20 wide receiver. No one drafts him. Naylor is just so overdrafted. So I'm going to scroll down, get some leverage. He's a bad value at wide receiver. He's not a winner.
The Raiders, I think, still haven't shown us the true upside of Bowers yet. I think that's where you just look at the depth chart, you look at the contracts, well, 15 million. Why would I not look at 15 million and say this is the direction they're trying to go? 15 million doesn't mean the same thing it once did.
And not at wide receiver. At wide receiver, it means nothing.
Yeah, Alec Pierce got 27, and what? Tutu Atwell got 10 last year. Gabe Davis got cut with a $13 million contract. It's just not. It's just the nature of the Raiders. They can't acquire free agents unless they overspend, and they get someone that no one really wants, but had a 100-yard game last year, and then with JJ McCarthy, maybe he was just held under wraps too much. But I wouldn't bet on it.
I think it's Bowers. You can get Trey Tucker and feel okay with it that he still has something. We've seen giant spikes from Trey Tucker. But more than anything, I think the Raiders might not even be done with that wide receiver room. There's a lot of veteran wide receivers who are out there that we're still drafting that are unknown teams. And I haven't heard a whole lot of hype around them, but Debo ends up a Raider. Where do you draft Naylor the next day? Do you even draft him? Like it's that easy just for him to just fade off. If Jerry Jeudy gets traded to the Raiders, we talked about Jeudy getting moved. I don't think it's an obvious connection, but if a guy like Jerry Jeudy ends up there, Jerry Judy's going after Jalen Naylor. Like, what the hell are we like? What universe are we in?
Well, it's
2 years ago.
It's the Cleveland stank.
It's the Cleveland stank. He was inefficient last year.
Yeah. He got sprayed by a skunk, basically.
100%. Yeah, the skunk spray. 2 years ago, Jerry Jeudy killing it. Nah, last year, not so much.
But we do this in Las Vegas, like every year. Like I was victim to it last season. I hyped up Dante Thornton when he was round 18, and then all of a sudden he was round 15, and it was like, really? Like every draft, someone's drafting Dante Thornton. That's wild. So that's his potential, just flash in the pan. I don't think the Kirk Cousins connection is relevant though, but it's possible that has maybe something to do with it. That's really the only other reason. I don't think they really had many targets together though back in the day.
Wasn't a big part of the offense. We drafted this 3-5-7-3 Purdy with Tonjes, Jared Goff with the Amon-Ra and Isaac Tesla. Nice. Baker Mayfield. We got him with Hurst and Egbuka. Big fall on Etienne in this draft. Etienne was one of the first big falls we had at ADP. Henry, Etienne Jr., Dowdle, Robinson, Tucker. This can work.
Yeah.
Another team stack with Tucker. What do you think about this running back room? If
there's a week where Baker's super irrelevant, it's probably going to be the week that Sean Tucker blows up. So it's kind of like, if that's in the playoffs and Purdy's our guy, or Goff just goes crazy. Maybe Baker shits the bed because Tucker has like 3 rushing touchdowns. Hopefully, something like that happens again. But I think, like I mentioned on Bucky, he probably has 5-6 touchdowns in his bag in a legitimate dimension of this universe. We could be looking back with that type of production, but otherwise it's just trusting Henry, the value on Travis, and then the 1,000 yards rushing on Rico. And then maybe a similar touchdown scenario for B-Rob as Tyler Algier. And then maybe Bijan goes down and we're, winning the contest overall. But receiver, we start off really strong. Amon-Ra is always going to make the team feel solid every single time. And we're just trusting Egbuka. Those first 5 weeks are really what we should trust. The rest is just him injured on an injured offense with a bad offensive play caller, and the excuse that once other guys got healthy, finally give him a rest that he deserved. But
super young wide receiver room, like a lot of second-year guys, some rookie guys. Amon-Ra and QJ are the only guys that aren't first or second-year guys. So the youth movement, like, kind of fun though.
There's the breakout potential with every single player, at least. So It's got upside. Will it be the right combo? We'll find out. And then tight ends just fucking gas every week.
I like it too. Yeah, these are sneaky good with Tonjes. Like, it fits in. Like, I can see it now. We just have Bears, Eagles, 49ers. Playoff teams incoming. Like, take a tight end.
If he repeats 5 touchdowns, it's going to be worth it. But he's more of a round 20 click than anything else. He's more around 20.
It's justifiable. It's a scroll down. It's stacked. We have a ton of value on the Colston Loveland pick too. He went a whole round late where we took him. We got him at 55. You don't see that every day anymore.
Right. The Loveland Travis combo, that makes this team really interesting. But perhaps just with Igbuka early, this is a team that maybe you could have gotten a few weeks ago from like the 4 slot in a different, just Travis in the 3rd, Igbuka in the 4th, and Loveland in the 5th. But here we are, drafting it today. This is a fun night, man. Always enjoy our teams, and happy to be invited back and harpening back to Jefferson.
Yeah, it's just the background of the stream tonight. We're just feeling the vibes. We didn't draft Justin Jefferson, but he was in our hearts, and so just going out on a high note there, couldn't look better. I mean, this is kind of peak male performance in every way that I can imagine. The glasses, the chains, both wrists covered. Like, he's good.
I got a question for you, bro. The last pick we had in this lobby today was at pick 7. Would you have ever taken Jefferson at pick 7?
We could pull him up. I mean, I haven't been doing it.
4, 6, and 7.
Yeah, I haven't been doing it, but like, it's not crazy.
I mean, with that type of hype train, that type of evidence right there, I think it's probably time he moves up the board.
Next time, because we're going to do more drafts. There's more to come. It's hot basketball summer. It's July 15th. We got plenty of time. Adam, always a joy drafting with you, brother. Thanks so much for coming on, talking some wide receiver values, drafting some shippers with us. The only question I have left, I have 2 questions left. First, what are we going to do with this? What is it? Is it 100 or 200,000? It's 200,000. What are we going to do with each of our respective $100,000 when we ship the fast puppy? What do you see? What are we going to be? What are we going to be doing with this? Golf trip?
Absolutely. I'm grateful it's also under your account because we don't have to pay California taxes on it.
That's
Texas. Honestly,
no state
income. That's just going to make anything that you throw out there much more reasonable because it's already what would have gone to Uncle Sam that doesn't deserve it. So definitely a golf trip, I think, is top of the list. And
nice.
What are you thinking? Pebble Beach, perhaps?
Oh, I'm in. Yeah, say less. Also, we did a Best Ball Mania. We did 2 fast puppies. I mean, 200,000 we might be underestimating our potential here. We might be taking home more than that. So we'll see. But yeah, man. Also, I want to ask you, what else do you have going on this week? You had a great stream last night. You had a quick stream today, and thanks for your time tonight. What do you got in store the rest of the week, brother?
It's just trying to keep chugging along and getting more content out. I promise recorded videos with rankings and win-loss picks are on the way. But for the most part, it's just gearing up my draft guide package before I launch that. And so look out for that by the end of the month. I believe next week that should be in the works. And otherwise, it's just gearing up to the regular season and then trying to keep you up to date on setting your lineup during the regular season. That's why I started YouTube. I love setting a lineup week to week, keeping up on the waiver wire and just knowing like, oh, this guy off the waiver wire that nobody's got, Saturday night, I'm plucking and I'm starting. We're getting 12 points out of it, and we are winning by like a 3-point margin because of it. Like, that's what I'm trying to help everyone do, and that's the plan. So subscribe to Nice and Blunt here on YouTube. The link is in the chat, in the description, and subscribe as well to our boy Candyman here. It puts on an excellent show, phenomenal hosting, not just tonight, but earlier on the Toxic Tower as well, filling in for PPR Tyler.
It's fun.
Excellent job. And at least we drafted 1 4 running back team. We didn't do the 3 quarterback build, but Herbert, Jackson, Dart, I think we can get away with it. I'm glad we at least had one like that. That it seems like you're excited on that type of build, especially the 3-4-8-3.
It 3-4-8-3 happens. Yeah, but I usually, even though I'll say 4, but then I'll end up, there's no better pick. I'll tack on the 5th in like round 16 or 17 or 18. And in my heart, it's still like a 4 running backs through 6 or 7 rounds. And then just like you get that 5th because you're like, I don't really want a 4th tight end. I'm definitely not taking a 4th QB. The wide receivers, this 8th one's not going to really add much. So I do some straight up actual 4 hyper fragiles with 8 wide receivers, but I would say my most common build right now is going to be pretty standard 3-5-7-3 on a lot of teams that I've seen kind of piping out.
Yeah, it's great to have like 4 running backs by like at worst Chris Rodriguez, and then Tank Bigsby's still there for you. It's like, yep, we're we're living.
That works.
That's
that
all
works.
I need. So excellent, excellent advice. Appreciate
Yeah,
the chance to be here tonight. Looking forward to another one coming soon, and we'll be in touch. But appreciate it.
100%. Yeah, thanks, man. And guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subbed on the way out. I am streaming with Jerry Football tomorrow night here on the channel. Look forward to that. Also, I'll be pumping out hopefully another podcast soon. I've been a little bit behind, but busy, and I'm excited to get back into my podcast studio and pump out another episode there. So subscribe and follow where podcasts can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And then I just put out a video. It's 13 minutes long. Do me a huge favor. Just go view the video, hit the like, leave a comment if you want. It's all about the QB values. It's tiers 1 through 3, Josh Allen through Patrick Mahomes. Hartman and I talked about it last night. It's not a crazy, super high-end edited video, but I'm starting to also put out some more videos in due time. And I thought we had a great conversation last night. So if you didn't watch the whole 4-hour stream, which I do recommend, but there's a 13-minute clip of it that is some good QB conversation. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. We'll see y'all in another draft real soon. Peace out, guys.